darkest jungle. Welcome to Finding Stuff Out, the show where you send in your questions and I find out the answers. I hope you don't think I did that on purpose, do you? Because I kind of just lost control of that vine. I asked the plant that question because of one of your questions.
Do plants think?
I don't know. This plant could be thinking something about me right now. Or not. But by the end of the show, I'll find out the answer to that. And all your other questions about plants. Like...
Why do flowers smell so good?
Why do flowers smell good? Do you know? Maybe you're just thinking of it and just can't say it. What about your friend over here?
Feed me.
Did you just say feed me? That's not the answer to the question. So I did some research and made this cartoon. Flowers smell good to attract insects. They need their insects to pollinate them. That means taking the powdery stuff called pollen from one flower and moving it to the next. Flowers need pollen to make seeds to make new flowers. But guess what? There's a lot of plants competing for the insect's attention by smelling good. So not all plants attract pollinator insects by smelling nice. Instead, they smell like rotting meat.
I stink. Yeah.
That attracts insects like flies and beetles that prefer rotting meat to eat or lay their eggs in. It's almost like they're thinking about smelling good or thinking about stinking. But not all plants want the attention, like this prickly cactus. Listen to this next question from Darius.
Why is there poison ivy?
I don't know why there's poison ivy. I just wish there wasn't any. But if you're wondering why poison ivy gives us a painful rash, it's because we have an allergic reaction to it. But guess what? Raccoons and birds eat the berries from poison ivy, and deer eat its leaves, and it doesn't hurt them. But in this case, it just seems to be bad luck for people. Lots of animals eat plants, so plants have found ways to protect themselves, like with thorns or sticky surfaces. Some, when animals bite them, release stuff that tastes bad. Other plants even make chemicals that attract other insects that will attack the bugs that's eating them. I wonder. Seems like plants are thinking. Anyway, some plants survive even though they're yummy, as I'm reminded by this question from Emily.
Why does fruit taste good?
Because it's got lots of sugar in it. But if all those other plants learn to survive by being prickly or tasting bad or even being poisonous, then why does fruit taste so good? That won't stop anything from eating it. I checked, and here's why. Birds love to eat fruit, just like these birds. Look at them go. But why would any self-respecting plant let itself get eaten up like that? Those birds are eating that fruit, seeds and all. Turns out plants might think that's a good deal for them, if they think that is. Birds can't digest the seeds in the fruit, so they poop them out. That spreads the seed far and wide. So there's a better chance that some of the seeds will land in some good spots where they can grow. So when birds eat fruit plants, they help create more fruit plants.
How do trees make paper?
I checked, and it's hard to believe, but this starts with this. In the forest, loggers cut down the trees, then send them to the paper plant, where machines grind them up into wood chips. The chips are mixed with water and chemicals to make pulp, which is sort of like wood soup. Then, the liquid is drained out and the wood fibers are pressed together to make paper. It takes a whole tree to make about this many packages of paper. So that's why I reuse and recycle. Next question.
How do we make clothes with cotton?
To find your answer, Mateo, please welcome my special guest, Colette Simon.
Hi, Harrison. Here's your answer.
Hey, I don't know if this will fit, but I'll give it a try. Totally fits. So I thought you were going to show me how plants can make clothing, not cotton candy.
Well, it's not actually cotton candy. It's cotton fiber. When you pick it from the plant,
Right?
it looks like this. And then you have to pull all of that fiber off of the plant, and in order to make thread out of that, you have to card the lint, and you use these. They're called cotton carders.
Yeah?
So you put the fiber onto the
Oh,
carder.
wow, it comes off really easily.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then you take the second one, and then you're just gently brushing it.
Right.
And what that does is make it fluffy
Yeah.
and easy to spin. You could use a little spindle like this.
Right.
I'm just going to take some of the fiber, and I just hook it on. Then you just start turning the spindle, just like that, and then you pull out some more fiber.
Whoa, and it just
Okay.
makes like string.
And it's just going to make string, just like that. And when you get really good, then you can go really, really fast.
Oh,
You
wow.
want to try it?
Sure.
It takes a lot of practice.
It's hard. It's hard to do.
And as you get really, really good, then you can make actual thread like this.
Whoa.
You can actually make clothes from that.
Wow, that's a lot.
So in a mill where they make cotton thread,
Right.
they have big machines.
Yeah, and that
Okay.
makes it the job really fast.
Much, much faster.
So what kind of other plants can we turn into clothes?
Well, you can turn bamboo into clothes.
That wouldn't be very comfortable, would it?
Well, actually, it's really soft, and you can make all kinds of things out of it, like underwear. You can also make cloth out of wood. They ground it up, and they make it into a pulp, and that's how you get rayon.
So you'd be wearing a tree.
You'd be wearing a tree, but this is from rayon, and you can feel it's really comfortable also.
Oh, wow. Wow, I never would have guessed that this can be made from a tree. That's so cool. Thanks
Yeah.
for being on my show.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
I found out that people use plants for all kinds of other things. You might know that we use wheat to make pasta and bread. But did you know that seaweed is used to make ice cream thick? Or that this rubber ball is made from a plant? So is this rope, or these gloves. And a lot of medicines start out as a plant. Fuels made of corn help power our cars. And some car companies are experimenting with making body panels for cars out of plants. That's crazy. Imagine me driving my own corn-powered cucumber. There's one other thing that plants make that we couldn't live without for even 5 minutes. Can you guess what it is? Oxygen. Plants like this take carbon dioxide. That's the stuff we breathe out. And turn it into the stuff we breathe in. Now I think it's time to go outside for some fresh air.
Street smarts.
So if you could be any plant in the world, what would you be and why?
I would be a fir tree because it has little fluff balls that I really like and they're really soft. I would be a sunflower because they look pretty.
A daisy because my grandma's dog was named Daisy. I'd be a tulip because it's my grandma's favorite flower.
I would be a cactus because then I wouldn't have to drink much water.
I would be a cactus too, so then no one would touch me because I'm so prickly.
I would be a lily because I wouldn't change that much because that's my name. How do plants grow?
How do plants grow? Well, they have all those leaves that have to get fed somehow, roots that need to grow, seeds that need to be made, and I heard they make their food out of sunlight and air. I could stand outside in the sun and air all day long and all I'd get is hungry. Not to mention a warm head, feeling like a cactus on a hot summer day, brain starting to overload. Ah! You're gonna make my head explode. I'm pretty sure you won't make this guy's head explode. He knows all about plants and how they grow. Please welcome Dr. Adam Brown. Hi, Adam.
Hey, Harrison, good to see you again.
I see you've brought a friend with you.
Yeah, I brought a little plant with me. He doesn't speak, but he's got a lot to say.
So Gwen's question has got me stumped.
Good one.
Get it? Yeah. So she was wondering, how do plants grow using sunlight and air?
Well, you know how we need to eat food in order to grow? Well, plants also need food in order to grow, but what's interesting about plants is that they can actually make their own food using, as you suggested, sunlight. So I'll turn on this bulb here to represent the sun. And as we know, there's a lot of energy in the rays from the sun. Well, plants can use the energy in those rays of light in order to turn that into food. It's a process called photosynthesis, which is basically just a big word that means making something out of light.
Then Adam told me something amazing. Most people think that wood is made from stuff that comes out of the ground. Surprise! A little bit of it is made from minerals, but most of the material in it comes from the air.
Pretty amazing, huh?
How does that work?
Well, the plants have holes in their leaves that allow them to suck carbon dioxide out of the air. And it's this carbon dioxide that they use to make photosynthesis and to turn it into food in order to grow. Another point that's very interesting is that this carbon dioxide is actually pollution. And so the plants are cleaning up the air by drawing the carbon dioxide out of the air. And if you think the carbon dioxide is bad for causing things like climate change,
right,
well, plants are doing us a great service by cleaning the air and drawing this carbon out.
Plants must be pretty smart to have figured that out. But what about this question from Gianluca?
Why do plants need water?
To answer your question, Gianluca, Adam asked me to fill a bowl with orange drink crystals and to pretend the crystals are like the earth in the ground, full of minerals that plants need to live. And these strips of paper will pretend to be our plant's roots. Hey, nothing's happening.
Let's add some water to our mineral soil and see what happens then.
Okay.
Let's try it again with our pretend roots and see what happens when we put them now into the wet soil.
The minerals in water are moving up our paper roots.
So what's happened here is that the water has helped the minerals go up, so very much like what plants do when they draw water up from the soil using their roots, so that's how they get those essential nutrients that they need as well. So if you imagine sort of a typical mature maple tree like the ones that we have around here, that there may be hundreds of liters of water moving around on the inside of that tree on any given day.
That's like bathtubs full of water.
It's an awful lot.
Well, all this talk about plants and water has given me an idea for my great challenge. Today, my challengers are Dante.
Yeah!
And Santino.
Yeah!
Okay, so Dante, you're gonna be Team Pine.
Yeah!
And Santino, you're gonna be Team Maple.
Yeah!
Okay, so your challenge today is to be like a tree and suck up as much water as you can. I found out that trees move bathtubs full of water every day to leaves and branches. So you'll have 2 minutes to use these siphon hoses and get the water from over here where the tubs are all the way up to the leaves and branches of the tree. And the one who moves the most water will be the winner. Sound good?
Yeah!
Ready? And go! Dante and Santino have to move that water up into the leaves by sucking it up and blowing it out of these hoses. A large tree has to move way more water than this every day by drawing it up out of the ground through its roots and moving it all the way to its leaves. Looks like Dante's ahead right now. One minute left. Dante and Santino only have one tube to pump up water, but a tree actually has millions of tiny tubes called xylem to do the job. Looks pretty difficult. Santino's so close to getting a big dump of water there. Oh, there we go. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, stop. And it looks like the winner is Dante.
Yeah!
Congratulations. So both of you get a prize, though. You get to keep the hats.
Yeah!
Are you gonna wear them all the time?
Of course. Yeah.
Thanks for playing My Great Challenge.
Thank you. Thank you.
Seeing all that water get moved around got my creative juices flowing. So I thought of something for you to do. Something tree-like. Uh-oh. Do try this at home. Now it's time to adapt the way trees adapt. So say you're a tree and stand on your tippy toes like this. That's not too hard, is it? But what if you're in weak soil and there's a lot of wind? You have 5 seconds to figure out something you can do to prevent you from falling over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you think of something like this? nice wide root system. Try it. You're way more stable this way. Trees can't walk or run away from trouble, so spreading out like this is exactly what they need to do. Clever trees. So we know of plants that avoid getting eaten and plants that spread their species far and wide by being eaten. But what about the eaters? Next question. This one's from Julia.
What does a fly trap look like?
The Flat Earth Corner! Do you know what a fly trap looks like? Well, if you're a 19th century adventurer exploring the darkest corners of the world like me, then you know it's a man-eating plant, scarier than anything you can imagine. Ugh. Ugh. They're so big, they can eat a human in 7 minutes. And I've never seen one myself, but I've heard enough about them to know that they're as real as a Sasquatch. And those who know say it looks like, cover your eyes if you're squeamish about terrifying sights, this. Deep in the jungle with the beetles and the bees, there stands the man-eating Yataveo tree. If you come across one, then you'd better heed my warning. Run away or you'll be eaten by tomorrow morning. Yataveo, Yataveo, Yataveo. Yataveo, Yataveo tree. Julia, explorers from a long time ago saw Venus flytraps, just like this one, in the wilds of North America, eating insects. They also saw plants in the South Pacific that could digest rats that fell into them. So they were probably a little nervous exploring the jungle. And when the people who lived there told them stories about man-eating plants, they believed them. This Venus flytrap really can eat living creatures, but only really small ones. It's adapted to eat insects because the soil it lives in doesn't have enough nutrients. It works like this. Let's say this pencil is a fly. Poor old Mr. Flytrap hasn't eaten in a while. He's very hungry. Feed me, feed me. When the fly here lands in the flytrap, it touches those long hairs, which tells the flytrap that there's something there. So what does he do? He closes his leaves so he can digest his dinner. If only I had a real fly. Hey, how about you? Yeah, you! Would you like to demonstrate how this fly trap works? Hey, come back! Don't you want to be on a TV show?
Does it help my plant to grow if I talk to it? Hey plant, are you feeling okay?
I wonder if I talk to this Venus flytrap if it will grow big. Hey there, hook guy.
Wait, are you sure you want to do this with the flesh-eating plant?
Yeah, maybe not. I'd rather not be eaten. Maybe I'll try something friendlier, like this orange tree.
That might be safer.
Then I can eat that instead of it eating me. Let's see. If I talk to you, I wonder if you'll grow. So it's like 22 centimeters right now. So let's see if I talk to it, though. Hey there, orange tree. How's it going? Yeah, I know. You're always doing good because you're my favorite orange tree. And if I talk to you long enough, I'm sure you'll grow, right? Grow, 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 grow. That should do it. Let's see here.
Well, let's see then. Did it grow?
It's the same,
Well, it's not that surprising, really. I mean, we didn't run the experiment for that long.
I guess.
To say, for example, if you were to talk to your plant every single day, there are a lot of studies that suggest that that could possibly help your plant grow. The only thing is we don't know exactly why it would help. We do know that your breath has carbon dioxide in it, and we already know that that's necessary for photosynthesis, so it could help the plant do more photosynthesis, but it could just be something related to the vibration of the air molecules from your voice. It could be perhaps you have some nice smelling breath, or that you're just a good conversationalist.
Well, thanks for being on my show. It's good having a conversation with you.
Yeah, it was my pleasure.
Now, as for you, I wonder if I'm wasting my breath talking to you. Which brings me back to the question that got this show growing.
Do plants think?
The big answer is... no! Plants do react to things happening around them, but they don't have a brain. Plants can't decide to go inside when it's cold out.
Ah, it's so cold and snowy outside.
And they can't turn on a fan when it's hot either. And they can't run away from things that want to eat them either. Plants survive by evolving ways of coping, and they pass their genes onto their children. Plants that don't adapt die off. So even if I tell you you're the best Venus flytrap in the whole world, it might not make you grow or do anything else because you can't hear me and you don't have a brain. Too bad, because we could be really good friends. It's got my nose! Somebody help! Just kidding. Thanks for watching Finding Stuff Out. Feed me! Did anybody else hear that? Huh. Hi, welcome to Finding Stuff Out. My mom's making me clean while I do the show today because something up here stinks really bad. It isn't you, is it? Nope. At first, thought it was this banana that I found under my sofa. And then I thought it might have been this tuna and onion sandwich that I found in my backpack. But it's not. It's something else. Something worse. Fortunately, you sent me a lot of questions about garbage this week, and I'm hoping that the answers will help me find the source of this mystery smell. The first question is from Alicia.
What happens to stuff that goes in the trash?
The short answer is, it will start to stink. But seriously, I don't know. But by the end of the show, I'll find out the answer to that, and all your other questions about garbage. Here's a question from Quasi.
Why does garbage stink? Ugh.
Right now, I'd be happy just to know where this stink is coming from. But let's take a look at the garbage with my super zoom-o-matic. Keep watching. See those tiny creatures crawling around? I call them garbage-eating monsters. But I found out they're really called fungi and bacteria. They break down food garbage and eat it. When they munch on the trash, they create lots of stinky garbage. It's sort of like the way your stomach makes stinky gases when you digest food. Hey, I smell a song coming on. Break it down. When garbage breaks down, the gases go up as fungi and bacteria go chomp, chomp, chomp. When garbage breaks down, the trash can go. If it's old and there's mold, hold your nose, there it goes. When that breakdown starts, it's like the trash can burps and farts. Excuse me. Stinky gases aren't all bad, though. Scientists have found a way to take natural gases from rotting trash and create energy. We're not at the point yet where we can all heat our houses with rotting bananas. So in the meantime, here's a good thing to do with old food scraps. This is where my family keeps some of our slimiest garbage, like last week's leftover salad. Imagine how I felt when my mom said she was making my snack with this stuff. Let me show you what happened. Harrison, I made a snack for you. Harrison, where are you? I have a really good snack for you, Harrison. Where'd that boy go? Harrison? A good snack. Yummy, yummy. Harrison? Turns out the snack was just some berries from our garden. This is a special kind of garbage called compost, made from food scraps. When it rots, you spread it on your garden. It's like superfood for plants. To find out how garbage turns into compost, please welcome my special guest, naturalist Julie Hamill.
Hey, Harrison.
Hey.
What's that smell?
Oh, sorry, it's a mystery. Oh, worms? No offense, but aren't we supposed to keep bugs out of the kitchen?
Well, actually, I'm here today to show you that we can keep it in the kitchen. So there's worms inside, and you actually take food scraps and you put it inside.
So we can put these in?
Yeah.
So we just get it down
Mix
in
it
there?
up, right? So it helps the worms to eat them all.
So how many worms are in here?
There's about 100.
That's a lot.
Yeah, they actually multiply. You put a couple of them, and they will multiply in weeks, and you'll have more than that. They will create worm poop, and there's poop mixed with the soil.
Worm poop? That's disgusting.
Well, it's not that bad because it's full of nutrients, right? So you get earth mixed with a lot of nutrients, which is really good for your plants.
So does that mean it's good to let bugs go inside of your garbage?
Well, actually, worms are good, but you don't want cockroaches or fruit flies to come in. As you can see there, yeah, there's fruit flies.
Oh yeah, there's little fruit flies all over the fruit. And why are they so bad?
Because what they do, they lay their eggs in fruit, and then it will be rotten and will smell a lot, so we really, really don't want that in your compost.
That's not very good. Well, thanks for helping us find stuff out.
You want to start your own compost?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Ew, I'm holding worm poop.
Perfectly natural.
Well, at least I'll be able to start a composter now. Thanks.
What would happen if we didn't recycle?
I checked, and not all trash gets eaten by fungi or bugs. Things like plastic take a really, really long time to decompose, so toys you throw away now could still be in the dump when you're really old.
At least I still have my teeth.
Some things like styrofoam and kitchen appliances might never dissolve on their own. If we didn't recycle, all that stuff would just pile up. I found out that if you add up all the garbage humans throw away every year, it's enough to fill garbage trucks stretching from here to the moon. Enough garbage to reach to the moon? That's more than 38,000 kilometers of trash in 1 year. How many candy wrappers is that? Uh-oh, will we have enough trash one day that will reach all the way to Mars? That is so much garbage. What can we do with it? Where will it all go? You're gonna make my head explode. We make so much garbage, it's hard to find a place to put it all. Sometimes the dump gets so full that we have to send our trash away. But eventually, the places we send it to will fill up also. Some people try to solve the problem by burning garbage, but that can make a lot of smelly air pollution. Others dump trash into rivers, streams, and oceans. In the Pacific Ocean, there's actually a garbage patch bigger than Switzerland, bigger than Japan. It's about the size of Texas. That's because the ocean currents carry garbage to places where it builds up. Even your ordinary household garbage can be dangerous to animals that live in the water. So the answer to your question is that if we didn't recycle, eventually we'd have mounds of garbage everywhere. Fortunately, humankind has a plan. I found out you're supposed to do 3 things: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Reduce just means to use less stuff, which makes less garbage. So to get some ideas on how to do that, let's get some Street Smarts! Hi, I'm here to talk to some kids about trash. So how many bags of trash do you think the average person makes in a year?
20. 19. 62. 14.
70.
So on average, kids like you weigh about 4 trash bags. Now here's the answer. A typical person goes through 100 trash bags per year. That's like 25 kids. That's like the whole class. And now I'm a piece of garbage. So how can we make less garbage?
Using it again. Recycling. Reusing. Composting.
If you use paper, don't waste it that quickly.
Eat less canned food because there'll be less cans thrown out.
Get a robot to eat it.
Yum, yum.
Around the world, people reuse things in ingenious ways. In the Caribbean, musicians make instruments out of old steel drums. In Africa, some kids make cool race cars out of scrap wire. And anywhere in the world, an old tire can make a great swing. Sorry, but I thought the stink was coming from the recycling bin. But it's not. Recycling is for non-stinky things, like glass, metal, or plastic. Sabriel had a question about that.
How does stuff get recycled?
A recycling center is like a super destructo machine. Glass gets crushed so it can be cleaned and melted into new glass. And so does metal. That means it won't end up in the trash heap. Paper gets turned into gooey pulp so it can be made into new paper. That means fewer trees need to be cut down. Recycling can save entire forests worth of trees. But what happens when you have an old TV or computer that you need to throw away? It has plastic and glass and metal. So where does it go? Well, it's where I'm going right now. I'm here at Sims Recycling Solutions, where they take old TVs, monitors, and video games to come get recycled. And Cindy Coots knows all about how to do that.
Welcome to Sims Recycling Solutions.
Thanks. So how much stuff does get recycled here?
We actually recycle 60 million pounds of old electronics from across Canada and the US at this site.
60 million pounds a year? That's more than the weight of 2.5 elephants every hour.
I'm going to introduce you to Kurt, who is our expert
Hey,
dismantler.
Nice to meet you.
That cord contains copper that we're going to recycle. There you go, that's the plastic housing.
There we go.
Now Kurt is going to take all the connections of the electronics off. Now he's taking off something called the yoke. And you're going to see that that yoke has a lot of copper in it.
Okay. Recycled copper is really useful, but if you just throw it out, that's bad. Just like the lead in my picture tube that is highly toxic to humans.
Most people throw their monitors into the trash, ends up in a landfill.
Right.
It rains, the rain picks up some lead,
Yeah.
and that's not good for the environment or for people.
Good. I guess I won't be able to find stuff out on that monitor anymore.
Well, the beauty of recycling is that all those resources are going to be recycled to make a new monitor.
For me?
For you or anyone else.
Awesome! Plastic, metal, or glass. Each material of my monitor has to be recycled separately.
So you can imagine if we're processing 60 million pounds of monitors and TVs, we'd need a lot of people.
Right.
So we actually have equipment that can take this apart 20,000 pounds an hour. That's 400 TVs or monitor every hour.
That is a lot.
It is a lot.
Thanks for being on my show.
You're very welcome. And remember, don't ever throw out your old electronics. Make sure you recycle them.
I'll make sure to recycle. Uh-oh. Do try this at home. Once you've cleaned everything that you're gonna recycle, you can crush it and make it really flat so that you can fit more into the container. With aluminum cans, there's a special trick. Crush it from top to bottom, but make sure not to cut yourself on any sharp edges. Presto! You've just made a can cake, a robot's favorite treat.
Yum, yum.
I've gotta find that stink. Oh well, the show must go on.
Why do you have to throw garbage in the garbage?
The Flat Earth Corner!
Garbage can? What is that? We throw trash on ground, or in cave, wherever. Ugh, meat was good.
Here, in the Middle Ages, we are proper and civilized. We put our trash in the buckets and then throw it out the window. Whoa! Whoa. Whew. Hey! This is a perfectly good banana. Today, we make so much trash that we need transportation systems to get rid of it all, so it can go to recycling centers and dumps. People who lived a long time ago didn't have as much stuff, so they didn't make much trash. They could leave junk lying around, and their mums didn't complain at all. Archaeologists are scientists who study what life was like a long time ago. When ancient people threw their trash on the ground, the foodstuff decomposed. But things like broken pots and tools didn't. They got buried in the dirt. So some of what you see in archaeology museums was actually stuff someone threw away. Hey, I found my pot! To find out more, it's time for... My Great Challenge! Okay, today our great challengers are Darcy.
What's up?
Jake. Caitlin. And Kiana.
Yeah.
Awesome, so you two will be Team Plastic, and you two are gonna be Team Paper.
It stinks in here. Agreed.
It does.
Yeah.
Good thing I brought this. Whew. So, you guys are gonna be like archaeologists and be doing some work that real archaeologists do. Does that sound cool?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because today, you get to go through garbage. But don't worry, it's old garbage. and it is from a regular household, and we've taken out all the sharply edged things and all the germy things, so don't worry about that, okay?
Okay, because I'm not really pleasant with the garbage.
With the garbage, okay. So your challenge is to figure out, just from looking at the garbage, who lives in the household. It's the science of garbology. Team paper, you guys will be first. Team plastic, you guys can go downstairs and see my mom and have some cookies or something.
Peace out!
Go! Whoa, this family sure needs to learn to recycle.
What do you think this is from? A dog. What the? Rabbit. Oh, wait, what? Hamster, I don't know. Yeah, hamsters. Hamster. Person. Person. This belongs to like a woman and a kid. Baby. A hamster. A baby. A toddler. Toddler.
3, 2, 1. Okay, time's up. Who do you think this garbage belongs to?
I think that belongs to a little boy.
A little boy?
That's 4 years old.
4 years old.
It's a dog.
So they have a dog.
And I think this is like their hamster, I think.
They have
like
a hamster?
Their hamster, yeah. A baby boy also.
They have a baby boy as well as the 4-year-old?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have a girl. And they have a mom. And a dad. And a dad.
Now let's see how Team Plastic does. Okay, so Team Plastic, are you ready?
Yes.
You have 2 minutes starting now. The teams both have the same stuff in their garbage bags.
This is pretty disgusting. Just something needs to do that much. Okay, I see some stuff. Weird stuff. They own a dog. Hey, an old G.I. Joe thing, I think it's a G.I. Joe thing. Fruit ring, those taste good. A dog bone, Baby. Corn chips. Okay. Baby. Hamster. Yes, hamster. Makeup, all right. We don't need makeup, Darcy. I know. Food.
3, 2, 1.
Pizza!
Okay, stop. Who do you think this garbage belongs to?
A family that likes to eat, and they're overweighted because all of the junk.
Okay, so who do you think the members of the family are?
A dog, a hamster, a female woman,
A
baby,
woman, a baby,
a kid, and a boy.
and a boy.
And a dad.
And a dad, okay.
And the mom likes to dress up a lot.
Mom likes to dress up a lot. Okay, so now I am going to announce the winner. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, the winner is Team Plastic!
Yes! Yeah!
Congratulations! You got the boy right, the baby boy, you had the dog and the hamster, the mom and the dad, and you had their eating habits, like they eat too much junk food, you had that down. And Team Paper said that they had a little girl on top of all those things that you said, and they didn't get the eating habits, so that's why you guys won.
Team Plastic rule!
Thanks for playing My Great Challenge.
You're very welcome.
Now for a trashy question from Anthony.
Where does toilet water go?
Well, Anthony, after you flush, it goes on a long trip and comes out in places like this, so you can swim in it. Gross! But not really. That's just the end of the story. Back to the beginning. I found out that dirty toilet water flows into pipes in your house that lead to giant underground pipes called sewers. The sewers lead to water treatment plants like this one. They remove the poopy sludge, pump oxygen through the leftover water, and use chemicals to get rid of bad bacteria and viruses, and send the now fresh water back into the environment where it came from. And speaking of toilet water, astronauts drink their own pee. It's true! When a rocket goes to space, it has to take all the astronauts' drinking water with it, because there aren't any stores in space.
Can I have a slushie?
No, we're not turning back just for that. But when astronauts drink, eventually they have to pee. I told you to go before we left the space station. But most of our pee actually is water. So if astronauts clean it up and turn it back into drinking water, they won't have to pack as much water on the trip. Here's how it works. The astronauts put the pee through a special filter that takes out all the bad stuff. It's like a mini version of the water treatment plant. Once it's clean to drink, they add a flavored powder. I guess that's to take their minds off the fact that they're drinking a liquid that used to be pee.
Now the taste is great, as Gennadi's showing you, it's perfectly clear and worth chasing in 0G here.
Lemon. I wonder if this goes in the garbage or the recycling. Speaking of which, did we ever answer Alicia's question?
What happens to stuff that goes in the trash?
The big answer is... we make a lot of garbage, and it all has to go somewhere. Some of it goes into landfills, recycling centers, or treatment plants. It takes a big team effort to get rid of all of our waste. Kids can do our part by reducing how much stuff we use, reusing stuff instead of throwing it out, and by recycling. Oh, and you'll be glad to know I finally found where that awful smell was coming from. My socks! I thought I'd save water by not washing them, but I think I better put them in the laundry. See you next time for more finding stuff out.
Can I have a slushie now?
I said no!
Hope I didn't scare you. This is a moose collar, and that moo was a moose collar. I'm using it because today I'm going into the woods to explore a place that I've had a lot of questions about, including this one. Do we need forests? Well, Julia, I don't actually know. I mean, it seems like a nice place, but do we really need forests? What do you think?
I don't know.
By the end of the show, I'll have the answer. Meanwhile, here's a question from Alessandro.
Is it bad to cut down trees in the forest?
Flat Earth Corner! Is it bad to cut down trees in the forest? Of course not. Look how many there are. If I cut down trees forever, there would still be a lot more. Where'd all the trees go? People used to think that forests were endless, and they could cut down as many trees as they wanted. And there were a lot of forests. I checked, and scientists think that at one time, forests covered this much of the world. But because of people cutting down trees, the forest now only covers this much of the world. I found out that without forests, wild animals have no place to live. Nowadays, they even go into neighborhoods where people live. Animals definitely need forests for their home. And Amanda had a question about that. How many kinds of living things are in the forest? Living things? Like birds, mammals, amphibians, reptiles, insects, microbes, big living things, tiny living things, things that eat plants, things that eat the things that eat plants. And there are plants too. Head getting warm. Brain trying to imagine all those creatures. Must be hundreds. No thousands. No tens of thousands. Reaching overload! Ah! You're gonna make my head explode! They're still discovering new species all the time, and no one knows how many kinds of living things are in the forest, but they all need to eat. And we're going to meet some of them right now. She knows about animals that live in the forest. She's bringing some in now, and I know that they won't bore us. Here's Jennifer Sierra.
Hi.
Hi. This doesn't eat people, does it?
No, absolutely not. Don't worry. This is actually an American kestrel, and her name is Saphira.
Where does she live?
Well, this is a type of bird that lives in open fields and meadows, often close to forests. So forests are a little bit like a refrigerator whereby sometimes the mice and the insects all come out. And when she can spot them, oh, she's in seventh heaven. That's the way she can find all sorts of yummy food to eat.
So what do you guys feed her?
Well, at the Eco Museum Zoo, we feed her mice and we sometimes feed her little birds because that's sometimes what they'll be eating in the wild as well. Would you like me to go and get some more?
Sure.
Excellent.
Wow, what kind of snake is that?
This is what we call a black rat snake. Sometimes people refer to them as gray rat snakes. It loves to climb up into trees. I know it's hard to believe considering it doesn't have any arms or legs, but these guys can actually climb very easily.
Does it bite?
They can bite. Would you still like to touch?
Sure. Whoa, that's like scaly. That's funny.
Those are all scales. They have them all over their bodies.
Wow, this frog is huge.
It's actually what we call a bullfrog because this is a large type of frog, just like bulls are pretty large.
So why is it good for them to live in the forest?
In the forest where they live, as long as it's near water, they'll be able to find all sorts of insects and all sorts of little mice to eat, and that's what they love. They can eat fish that are found in the water, as well as a mammal that flies at night. Bats.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. And you want to know how they eat the bat?
How?
Well, they have to launch towards it with their bodies, their mouths open, their tongues sticking out like this. Whoa. They catch the bat in their mouths. With their teeth, it keeps them in place. And then they push it down with their hands, the muscles in their throat. They have to bring their eyes inside their heads and push the food right down their throat.
That's so cool.
This is what we call an opossum, and this is from the marsupial group. So it's the same group as koalas and kangaroos.
What does she eat?
She can eat a little bit of everything, actually. She's rather omnivorous, so she can eat fruit, she can eat seeds and nuts, she can even eat other types of animals, like insects, mice. So you can see, if, like the forest floor, she's trying to push all the leaves around, all the pieces of wood, and she's trying to find all sorts of fruits that might have fallen from trees and insects that are hidden under all these branches, just like she'd be doing in the forest.
Thanks for being on my show and helping me find stuff out.
Thanks for having us.
Here's another question from Joseph.
Are all forests the same?
To answer that question, I've come to meet an expert on Vancouver Island that has some of the most beautiful forests on Earth.
Knows about the trees and all the forest things she sees. Here's Julie Fortes! Yeah!
So I brought you this little fir seedling. And one day, this little seedling is going to be a huge part of this big forest.
How tall could it grow?
Douglas firs can grow up to 60 meters tall and have really wide trunks.
Wow.
So the kind of forest that would live in is a forest like around here. It's a temperate rainforest. The kinds of trees we would find here are especially the Douglas fir, but also things like this arbutus right behind us. The arbutus is a very interesting tree because it sheds its bark in the summer instead of shedding its leaves in the fall.
What other kind of forests are there?
There are tropical rainforests.
Like the jungle in the Amazon?
Yeah. There are temperate rainforests, which is like the one that we're in right now. There are boreal forests further north. And there is this really cool thing called cloud forests, which are forests that kind of sweat, and then they create their own clouds.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Why aren't all forests the same? Like, why isn't a forest like the jungle?
Not all forests are the same because trees need 3 things to grow. They need light or energy, they need water, and they need nutrients. Light, water, and nutrients aren't spread out the same around the globe. For example, in the desert, there isn't enough water to grow forests.
What about in the Arctic? Here's a question from Neil, who lives there, way up north.
I live in Igloo Lake. Why aren't there forests here?
You won't find forests up north in the Arctic Circle because it's just too cold for trees to grow.
Speaking of trees and forests, who's in the mood for a little experiment?
The experiment!
Did you know you can tell how old a tree is by counting its rings? Not these kind.
Not those kind of rings either. These kind. I asked my friend Kashvi and Noah to count some rings. In the spring, trees grow very quickly, slow down in the fall, and then stop in the winter. This creates a tree ring every year.
I think mine's about 23 years old.
I think mine's about 37.
Wow. But that's so small.
Yeah, and that one's big. I wonder why this one's older, but it's smaller.
Well, I found out it's because trees are just like people. They grow in all different sizes. It also depends on where the trees are growing. Rings tell you a lot about climate change, like if the tree had enough water or how hot or cold it was that year. A wide ring means a tree had what it needed to grow, but a skinny ring means it may have had a tough year. So because rings are not all the same, they're tricky to count.
I think this tree was born in 1932.
That's like when my great-grandmother was born.
Well, mine was born in 1894.
That's like when my great-great-great-great-grandmother was born. That seems pretty old, but I found out that some trees have thousands of rings. The oldest is not that big, but it's still 5,000 years old. That's 5,000 rings. Imagine counting that.
My tree is 120 years old.
Mine's 84 years old.
Bye, Zoe.
Bye.
Thanks, Kashvi and Noah. Now here's a question from Andrew.
What do we get from the forest?
Off the top of my head, I know that we get wood for houses like this. And we get paper from trees in the forest. Try living without toilet paper. Thank you for that one, forests. I checked, and there are lots of other things that we get from forests. And that's the subject for today's My Great Challenge!
Today's challengers are Aiden and Tristan.
Yeah!
Justin and Sterling.
Yeah!
So Aiden and Tristan, your team Oak. Justin and Sterling, your team Pine. You see those items on the table, right?
Yeah.
Your challenge is to pick up what you think is made from things from the forest. The team that guesses the most correctly and the least incorrectly wins. Let's pull branches, to decide who goes first. And Team Pine wins, so you guys go first. But wait till I blow my super moose signal. 3, 2, 1.
Time to move.
I think we should pick the hockey stick.
Yeah, it's made out of wood. It's a good idea.
What about
Paper is made out of trees, right?
I don't. Yeah.
So we should maybe take that.
Yeah.
We should take maple syrup. It's made in springtime from trees.
Should we take the birdhouse? It's made from wood.
What about this mask-looking thing?
Yeah, it looks like it's made of wood. What about this book? It's made from paper, so it's probably from trees.
Yeah. What about this toilet paper? The paper is made from trees.
Yeah. Now can we try the electric guitar?
Yeah, maybe.
The rocks are natural.
I think that's cool.
It's still natural. Let's take it.
Yeah, it's true. We should take that. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is. Is it butter? We should probably take it.
Oh, paper. Yeah, paper. Maybe take that t-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, this box. Maybe this bouncy ball.
Maybe.
So just take ping pong balls. There's nothing else we can really pick.
Both teams are done. They did not pick the rubber boots, plastic container, or the rubber tire.
Are you sure everything on your table comes from the forest?
No.
I forgot to mention, you lose a point for every wrong answer.
I'll give you one chance to put everything back that you don't think comes from the forest.
Back the guitar.
Yeah.
Maybe you should put that
Butter. And what about this ball?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, these ping pong balls
Or plastic.
Yeah, and they're ping pongish.
Okay, Team Oak, you have 6 items that you thought came from the forest. Team Pine, you have 9 items that you thought came from the forest. So the good news is, everything that you put on your table came from the forest.
Yes.
But the bad news is, everything that you put down or didn't pick up also came from the forest.
It was probably easier to figure out stuff like paper, maple syrup, or the hockey stick. But I found out that ping pong balls and fabrics can be made from tiny fibers from plants and trees, just like paper. Margarine can be made from palm tree oil. Rubber balls and ties are made with the help of rubber trees. That plastic container is made from oil. And just like coal, it's a leftover of forests that grew hundreds of millions of years ago.
So what are you guys most surprised about?
The ping pong balls and the guitar. Yeah, the guitar.
Yep, it's made of wood, but it's painted and varnished.
Well, thanks for being on my show and doing the challenge.
You're welcome.
Now I'm going back to the forest to see what else comes from there. I have a few guests who know the forest really well.
This is Natanis and her family. This is Shaya. This is Sequotin, and this is Hallie, and that's Santana. They're members of the new Chinook First Nations, and they live here in a forest on Vancouver Island. Santana, why is nature so important to your culture?
Forest was everything to us. Instead of going to a grocery store, we would get all our food from here. Everything that we used to stay alive, our shelter, our food, or even our clothing. And sometimes we don't even notice the smallest little things was used for everything. Say what you're sitting on, Zoe. This is called sphagamos. And sphagamos was picked, and then all the sticks were taken out and to make it really soft, and they were used as diapers.
Wow.
It was the very first disposable diaper, and it was actually good for the environment. Shia brought you a basket.
Wow, it's so beautiful. Thank you. I can't believe it's made of the forest. I'm so excited. This is a salmon. Wow, that tastes delicious.
This is an indigenous blackberry. It's like a little vine that grows. And the young girls used to like taking it here, and you would make a little hair ornament, and the girls would wear it and decorate their hair. You'd spend all day out here, and you'd be singing songs. And you'd be singing to the trees, and you'll also be letting the bears know that I'm here.
We're out in the middle of the woods looking for plants and berries, so we have to sing a song to let the bears know that we're here. Bears hate surprises. If you surprise a bear, he might think you're threatening him, and he could attack to protect himself. Singing lets him know that you're coming and don't mean any harm. Bears like to be alone, and usually they'd much rather be out of your way.
All around us, right in this one little area, we have all different kinds of medicine and food. So everywhere you walked, there was something that we used. Cedar was the most used tool of the coastal people. Huge canoes would be made out of this, and they would be pounded into very fine fiber, and they would be made into clothes.
I never thought that you can use so much things in the forest. Thanks for being on my show.
You're welcome, Zoe.
I think we're getting closer to answering if we need forests. Animals for sure need forests. And we need a lot of stuff we get from forests. But are they good for anything else? I think I have time for a couple more questions.
How do forest fires start?
I checked, and I found something out super surprising. Fires are a natural part of the forest life cycle. Lightning causes lots of forest fires, but experts say that can actually help trees. Forest fires are as important to the forest as the sun and the rain. Some trees, like these giant sequoias, depend on fires to reproduce. Their cones need heat to open and release their seeds. Ashes make great tree food, and more sunshine gets through, helping new bushes and trees grow a lot better. This is good for animals looking for food, but some fires can be really bad. Hey, where did everybody go? It's bad for forests when fires get out of control. Most forest fires are caused by one living creature. Can you guess which one? Nope. It's this creature, humans. When you're finished toasting your marshmallow, make sure the campfire is out. Here's a question from Pierce.
Does the weather change because of forests?
I did a little research, and to answer that question, I've made an animation. Forests affect the weather and climate in a lot of ways. First, they draw a gas called carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas that heats up the atmosphere. So having forests help keep the Earth's temperature from getting super hot. And forests create shade, keeping things cool beneath their leaves. Their root systems absorb water, which helps prevent flooding.
Cool.
Without trees to soak up water, rivers could flood more easily and deserts could spread because the water runs away instead of being stored in the trees.
Aww.
Don't you breathe easier knowing that forests are taking care of us? Hey, that gives me an idea for... Uh-oh, do try this at home. Here's something super easy, but I bet a lot of you don't do this. Next time you're in the woods, take deep breaths of fresh air. I found out that some scientists say that just being in the woods can make us healthier and happier. What do you think?
Ask a friend. I really like being around trees.
Makes me feel like I could do anything I want because there's so much space.
I would like to play in it, but I would stay there forever.
You can hike and it makes you feel sporty.
I like a lot of things about the forest. There are a lot of relaxing noise in the forest. Of like birds, water. It relaxes you. I like climbing trees. I feel happy, excited, and alive.
So if you're ever camping or in the park with lots of trees, try it out. Listen to the sounds of the birds and the wind in the leaves. Take a deep breath of freshly made oxygen and smell the soil in the plants.
It just might make you feel better and healthier. And that takes us back to the question that started it all.
Do we need forests?
Well, Julia, the big answer is... yes. And I wrote a song inspired by your question.
The forests are a swinging place for monkeys, moose, and bats. Bears, raccoons, wolves, and weasels, it's their habitat. Tigers, bugs, gorillas, snakes, orangutans, and bees. The world looks different when you see the forest for the trees. Wood for houses and for warmth, chairs and piano keys. Toilet paper, cardboard boxes, and tissue when we sneeze. Achoo! Medicine and furniture and oxygen to breathe. The world looks different when you see the forest for the trees. That's my show for today. See you next time for more Finding Stuff Out. I think I'll hug a tree. Ow, you're prickly. Maybe I'd be better off hugging a moose. Moo! Moo! I missed again. I really have to work on my aim. This is my little robot, Roland. He finishes the job for me. I'm controlling him like he's my little robotic assistant. Mwahaha! I am the puppet master, and you will do as I say. Controlling a robot like this is really handy. But what if it was attached to my body? I found out that people can get artificial body parts if they were born without an arm, or a leg, or lost one in an accident, or because of illness. They're called prosthetics. But I don't think they're robots like Roland. No way. This question from Jada is what got me thinking.
Do prosthetics make you bionic?
Bionic? You mean like having superpowers? I'd love to be bionic. Wouldn't you? Cool!
Not to worry, Captain. I gotcha. I'm stronger, faster, super bionic Zoe!
Jada, I'm not sure prosthetics give us super bionic powers, but I promise to use my super finding stuff out powers to get the answer. I'll start with this question from Massimo.
How does it feel to get prosthetic limbs?
To answer that, I have a special guest today. Her name is Megan, so please say hey. Welcome to my show.
Hi, Zoe. I can answer all your questions by showing you my prosthetic legs.
Oh, you have 2 prosthetic legs, but you walk so well.
Nothing stops me.
When did you get your prosthetics?
When I was 2, I got a sickness called meningitis, and I had to amputate my 2 legs and 9 fingers. A year later, when I was 3, I got my prosthetic legs. It hurt at first, but once I got comfortable, I was actually proud.
Here's something Tristan wants to know.
Does a prosthetic hurt?
Yeah, does a prosthetic hurt?
No, because it's fitted for me. If there's anything that actually hurts, they can switch it around.
Are there any sports or things you can't do because of your prosthetics?
My prosthetic legs don't stop me from doing anything. They help me do things. My favorite sports are basketball and snowboard.
What other sports and activities do you do?
I kneeboard. I go on tubing. I have a bicycle fitted for me.
That's cool. I see you have other prosthetics here.
Yeah, for the past year I've been wanting to wear high heels, but I couldn't because my regular prosthetic legs don't bend at the ankle. And we got these made that actually bend at the ankle.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, I love your nail.
Thank you. It's my only nail. I like to take care of it.
Is it hard to do other things without your 9 other fingers?
Well, I can text as fast as my friends can.
That was fast. Do you have superpowers?
No, I just get used to doing things my own way.
Well, thanks for helping me find stuff out, Megan.
No problem. It was fun.
Yeah.
The experiment!
We're really lucky to have prosthetics to help people. My friends try to make one with straws. Hi, Andalyn and Nicholas.
Hi, Zoe.
I know you can't make real prosthetics like the ones Megan has.
Right, but we can make a cool robotic hand using stuff from around the house.
Go for it.
We're gonna use 5 bendy straws, 1 for each finger, to make a hand.
And tape them together.
What's next?
Now we're gonna make little marks for the knuckles. Now we bend them at the knuckles.
Make a little cut in the corner.
Now we put the string through the straws.
And tie a knot at the top. Zoe, check this out.
It's pretty basic, but it works.
The strings are kind of like muscles that make a regular hand move. Thanks, guys.
Bye, Zoe.
That gives me an idea for...
My Great Challenge!
Today's challengers are Nora.
Hi.
And Dina. How do you like your new homemade prosthetics?
They're cool. Not fashionable.
Today's challenge is like getting ready for school, except while using your prosthetics. You have to pour some water, make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and take a bite. And put your notebook and pen in your bag. Sound easy?
No. Simple.
There's more.
What?
You have to put your jacket on and then come to this table and write your name in your notebook. Oh, and it's a race. First person to finish wins. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, go! First step, spread peanut butter and jelly to make the sandwiches.
Looks like you're having a little bit of trouble there.
It's not easy holding a spoon with homemade prosthetics, is it?
There we go.
They each have to take 1 bite of their sandwich and have 1 sip of water.
This is gonna be tasty.
Dina's ready to bite into her sandwich. Done. I guess she doesn't like peanut butter. Nora's having a hard time getting the peanut butter out of that jar. But Dina's struggling with her glass. There's the peanut butter.
Beautiful.
And there's the jelly. Dina's got her straw, but Nora's got her sandwich made. Dina takes her sip, and Nora's catching up.
Ready for school.
Now they've got to pack their bags and put their jackets on.
Keep going, guys. Oh, shoot, my jacket.
After a slow start, Nora's caught up. They're so close. But Nora's having trouble getting her coat off the rack. Dina's got her arm in. She's getting ahead again, but Nora's not far behind. Uh-oh, Dina can't get her second arm in.
Oh, no.
Nora's got her jacket on.
Dina's having a little bit of trouble over there. Oh, my goodness, my sleeve. Keep going, Dina. Shoot. Yes.
Way to go, Dina. Now get out your notebook and write your name. Nora's getting ahead.
Tina, I like the technique.
Oh no! Sure. Whoops! Pick up that notebook, Tina.
Done.
Oh no.
Okay! Nora wins.
Wait, how do you put on a jacket?
So what was the hardest part?
Probably putting the jacket on and spreading the peanut butter on the toast.
Same with the jacket situation, but writing your name, seriously. Well, our prosthetics were homemade, but I got this question from Amber.
What are prosthetics made of?
Flat Earth Corner! Crocodile eat your hand? Need new hand? Look no further than Blacksmith Bob's Best, the only shop with the best materials, the best tools, and the best replacement limbs in town. We forge each and every one in heavy, extra strong metal. Behold this iron hand. It does not bend, it does not flex, so it will never break. That's the beauty of iron. Get them while they're hot. Oh, it's fresh out of the forge! It's so hot! There was a time when prosthetics looked like pirate hooks, and they were made of metal that didn't even bend. I think it's really different today. To help me find out how prosthetics are made, I brought two special guests to come to my aid. Please welcome to my show, Nicholas Marchand and Carolyn Vio.
Hi, Zoe.
Hi, Nicholas and Carolyn.
We brought some prosthetics for you today, Zoe. And I'm wearing mine. I won't squeeze you too hard.
You can squeeze harder?
Mm-hmm, I can.
That's a very firm handshake you got there.
Sure is.
These all look super cool, but Amber wants to know what these are made of.
All the new prostheses are made out of a black material called carbon fiber, the same material that we make race cars and jets out of.
This one looks a little bit old-fashioned. It's not the same as all the other ones.
This is my first prosthesis. I had it 40 years ago. You want to see how it works? This was a bit harder to use than nowadays prosthetic. So by pulling my shoulders forward, it pulls on the cable here and makes it open.
It kind of looks like a pirate hook.
You're right, Zoe.
But it seems like it must have been pretty hard to use.
And not that useful. So I chose not to wear a prosthesis for quite a while. And then I got into sports. And even though I could do anything with just one hand, I got some prosthetic made for sport, like this one. I used it to ski. It even got me to the Paralympics, where I got a gold medal.
Wow.
And I have other adapters. See? I just switch, and there I can go and play golf.
Wow.
I have another one for cross-country skiing, where the pole goes here and allows me to cross-country ski. This is for swimming.
Oh yeah, it kind of looks like a paddle. That's really cool.
Yeah, but today, prosthetic can do much more.
Like this one?
Yes, Zoe, that's what we call a myoelectric hand. Myo means muscle, and electric means it's powered by electricity. Your muscles on your arm generate a signal that in turn power the fingers of that hand.
What muscles make it move?
Let me show you.
I'm just flexing the muscles in my arm.
See how you close those fingers? Now close them fast. You're making those fingers work.
That's really cool. But my hand is more than open and close.
That brings us to this hand. It's called the Quantum. It is the most advanced hand in the world for myoelectrics. And this hand actually allows you to choose from 35 different grips. If I wanted to hold a plate, I would activate the plate grip, whereby I can take the plate, put it right under the thumb, close down on the plate, hold it, and then bring it wherever I want.
That's really cool.
If you want to use a keyboard, you can use your finger to press a keyboard. So depending on what you want to do, you can make the hand choose that grip for you.
That's super cool. Here's a question I got from Olivia.
How come running blades don't look like real legs?
Yeah, how come they don't look like real legs?
Well, that's a good question. So most running legs work like a spring. This is a running leg that belongs to a boy. When that boy runs, he puts weight on the leg, it bends and then bounces forward, pushing him forward.
So do blades like this give someone extra running power?
They don't give you extra running power. They only give you the power that you put in.
Well, that was awesome. Thanks for helping me find stuff out about prosthetics.
You're welcome, Zoe.
You're welcome.
Check this out. I found out that there's some really amazing technology out there for prosthetics. This artificial hand can actually feel things like a real hand. But this question from Antoine really made me think.
How do you survive without arms?
Uh-oh, do try this at home. To get an idea of how hard it is to do simple things while missing an arm, try this. Try tying your shoe with one hand. It's really not easy. Okay, it's tight. Now I just have to make a bow. Almost got it. Oh, got it. Finally. Surviving with no arms must be really tough. Prosthetics are super helpful, but I found out they can cost a lot of money, and people can't always afford them, especially in really poor countries. But I found out that today we can use 3D printers to make them. A 3D printer heats up stuff like plastic to build an object like the artificial hands these kids are wearing, made specially to fit their size. And because they're a lot less expensive than other prosthetics, it means that when kids grow, it's easier to have bigger ones made for them. These 3D limbs are changing lives for kids around the world who might have lost limbs because of war. Now, they can do lots of the same things other kids do. Hey, those prosthetics are really fun looking. Maybe I'd make myself an extra arm. Sweet. I wonder what my friends would want. Ask a friend. If you could add an extra part to your body, what would it be?
Wings, so I could fly. It would be a robotic arm that could, it could activate anything. Like, if you want a pencil, it could just activate a pencil.
An arm that the hand, it shoots spider webs like Spider-Man.
Legs, so we can run really fast and always win a race.
Feet that could fly, so with jetpacks on the bottom. Gills, so I could swim around and stay underwater for as long as I wanted.
Now here's a question from William.
Can animals have prosthetics?
Bionic. There's only one place to find out. At an animal hospital. Hi, Jean.
Hi, Zoe.
So, can animals have prosthetics?
Sure, like humans. I designed some myself.
Cool. Can I see one?
So this is Gypsy.
Hi, Gypsy. Do you have superpowers? Yes, you do. You're super cute. What happened to her leg?
Well, she's born with one leg shorter than the other one, so we made a prosthetic.
I like how it's pink. How long has she had it?
Almost 1 year. All right, now I'm going to take off the prosthetic device, okay? Just to check the leg. There we go. I'll take off the socks.
Is it a bit better now?
Right now, yes, because her leg was weak because she wasn't using it. Now that she is using it, it's much stronger. You have more muscle here.
That's great. Are there any other animals with prosthetics?
Absolutely.
It turns out that lots of different animals can get prosthetics if they need them. This duck lost her feet, and Réjean made prosthetic feet for her. He also helped out a bunny rabbit.
This is Daisy, and she got sick. And the back leg doesn't work anymore, so I designed kind of a wheelchair.
That's so cool. She's so cute.
Now she can walk without dragging her back leg. That was causing her a lot of problems.
That's amazing, Réjean. Hi, Maria.
Hi, Zoe.
You do physical therapy with animals?
I sure do. It helps them to adjust to their new prosthetics. We're gonna start with a little massage. It's gonna help to relax Gypsy's muscles. You're gonna make circular motions with your thumb all the way along her spinal muscles. because they get tired from carrying her prosthetic. Go ahead.
Should I do it this way?
Sure. What's important is to not get on the bones, but to stay on the muscles. Gypsy seems to really be enjoying that.
This looks like an exercise ball I've seen before, but never shaped like this. It looks like a peanut.
It's shaped this way to be able to support a dog's body.
All these exercises help strengthen Gypsy's back.
Gypsy has a lot of pressure on her back by carrying this heavy prosthetic, so we need to make sure it stays good and strong for a long time.
She'll be stronger than ever after this. Thanks for helping me find out about animal prosthetics.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Gypsy. And here's a question I got from Rowan.
Could a person who's paralyzed walk with a prosthetic device?
I checked, and it's possible. There's a special suit called an exoskeleton that helps people who are paralyzed or have difficulty walking. It's kind of like a robot that you wear. Moving your weight a bit to one side makes the robotic leg on the other side take a step. There's another exosuit that anyone can wear. It helps people in construction or other physical jobs. With the exosuit, they can lift heavy things without tiring out their muscles as much or getting hurt.
That seems almost like science fiction. Maybe I could have an exosuit that could let me time travel.
Wow! Nice T-Rex! Yeah, sure you can fly, but can you do this?
All this high-tech stuff has me wondering the same thing as Megan.
Can you control a prosthetic with your mind?
I found out you can.
Scientists have been testing this amazing technology that lets a person with missing limbs move an artificial arm the way we use regular arms.
By mind control. They're still working on it, but it's super cool. And guess what I've used mind control to do? Get the answer to Jada's question that started off today's show.
Do prosthetics make you bionic?
Well, Jada, the big answer is... yes, they do.
I found out that bionic means using machines to help us do things, sometimes as a replacement body part. Prosthetics are like small machines that help people walk, ski like a champ, or throw a ball.
So prosthetics make us bionic, but they don't give us any superpowers.
Huh? They don't?
Well, at least not yet, but maybe in the future.
I am future Zoe. I'm not far from today. The things I can do will blow your mind away. Everything you're dreaming, it is coming true. Swim like a fish, have super hearing too. X-ray vision, bionic eyes. Hey, I can see you ate a lot of French fries. Half human, half machine, a cyborg you could be. And fly so high that from the sky the whole world you would see. I am future Zoe, I'm not far from today, but I still have to clean my room and put my toys away. Come on, future me, let's get this done.
In the meantime, I have Roland to help me out. Thanks, Roland. See you next time for more Finding Stuff Out. I told my mom I wanted to be a farmer, so she got me this cool ant farm. Not exactly the same, but I love watching these little ants make tunnels. But what about bigger animals on farms? I'm wondering because of this question I got from Gio.
What makes an animal a good farm animal?
I don't know, but I promise I'll find out by the end of the show. So, I'm with some farm animals, but they can't say. So I brought a special guest here today. Please welcome animal scientist Audrey St. Eves. Hi, Audrey.
Hi, Zoe.
So I'm trying to figure out what makes a great farm animal. But first I should probably ask you why some animals are farm animals and others aren't.
Right.
Wild animals like lions and tigers, they like to do their own thing, like hunt and even sleep at times, and they wouldn't be that great to work with, so they're not domesticated.
What about pets? Farmers have dogs and cats, but I'm not sure they're real farm animals.
Well, farms can have dogs and cats, and they mostly help out on the farm, but they don't make products that we can eat or use, like milk, eggs, or wool. And animals like budgies and hamsters, they're also great for companionship, but they don't make the products that we can use, so we don't consider them farm animals.
No milk, no eggs. Watch me spin.
So the difference between a farm animal and a wild animal or pet is a farm animal does something useful?
Exactly. So like this sheep here, sheep can produce wool, milk, and even meat. So all around, they're a really good farm animal to have.
Cool. Nice sheep. Thanks for answering my big question.
You're welcome.
That was easy. Show's over, folks. Just kidding. I found out what a farm animal is, but I didn't find out what makes a great one. Hey, Mr. Sheep, what makes you so great? Right, you can't tell me either because I don't speak sheep. Let's take a question from Massimo.
How do farm animals react to people touching them?
Cute donkey. Can I touch him?
Actually, farm animals are used to working with people every day, so this guy'd probably really like to be pet. It's a way to interact with them, and it's a way to show that you care for them.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to do that with a lion.
That's definitely not a good idea.
So cute. Come on out, chickens. These chickens don't like to be pet.
Well, chickens are one of the farm animals that don't exactly like being pet, but you can find some that do like being pet. Hold her nice and tight so she knows she's nice and snug. And there you go. Now she feels safe.
Hi, chicken. Hey, look, eggs.
Farmers do their very best to make sure that you get fresh eggs every morning, but sometimes we can forget about the eggs and leave them in the fridge, and after a while, they're gonna go bad.
That's true. And my friends have an easy way to test that.
Do try this at home.
To test if your egg is fresh or not, all you need is a big glass of cold water. Let's put a fresh egg in. It sinks right to the bottom.
This egg has been sitting out for a couple of weeks. Let's see what happens. It floats right to the top and it's gotten bad.
And that's how you know it's not good to eat. Eggshells look hard, but they actually have tiny holes that let gas come out. When an egg starts to go rotten, the inside breaks apart and more gases come out. When enough gas passes through the shell, the egg gets lighter and it floats in water.
But don't break a rotten egg. It smells really bad.
Really bad. Ew. Thanks, guys. This is a really cool farm. It reminds me of a question I got from Ornella.
How many types of farms are there?
There's lots of kinds of farms. It's kind of hard to say. It depends on the farmer, what they grow, what they raise. So, hundreds.
Hundreds?
Maybe even thousands.
Thousands? So many farms!
You're gonna make my head explode!
There are sugarcane farms for sugar, cotton farms, every kind of fruit and vegetable farm, nut farm for pecans, peanuts, pistachios, beef farms, turkey farms, silkworm farms where the worms make silk, whew, and let's not forget fish farms. My friends started their own farm too.
The experiment!
So what's your farm?
It's a worm farm. It's good for the environment.
A worm farm?
Yeah, we found some worms in our garden and some dirt, and now we're gonna add in some sand. The worms like it when it's moist, so we're gonna add some water. Now it's time for the worms. Nasty, gooey.
Slimy.
Now we're gonna cover them with some more earth. It's like making lasagna. Yummy. Now we can put in some food scraps and leaves for the worms to eat.
It's important to add air holes so that your worms can breathe.
Worms prefer to be in a dark area, so we should probably cover them or put them in a dark space.
And now we wait a few days. Whoa, the scraps are nearly gone. Time to add some more.
Wow, you can make your food scraps disappear that way. What a great way to compost.
Yeah, and once there's enough worm poop in there, you can put it back in your garden to make more plants grow.
Thanks, but don't let the worms out.
We won't.
Don't worry.
Worm farms are a lot less work than this. So much poop to clean. Ugh. What kind of pigs are these?
These guys are potbelly pigs, so they're a lot shorter than most other breeds of pigs, and they, of course, have a very round belly.
I got a question about pigs from Indira.
Are pigs smart animals?
Let's find out. What's the square root of 6 gajillion and 12 bazillion? He doesn't seem to know. How smart are pigs?
Well, pigs are actually pretty smart. They're smarter than most other domesticated animals, even dogs.
Even dogs?
Yeah. Pigs are also super friendly and have really good memories. They can even recognize faces and locate objects.
Ta-da! Oink, oink. Thanks, Audrey. I think my chores are done here for now.
My pleasure.
All these smart animals give me an idea for... my great challenge! Today's challenge is, what animal am I? On Team Barn Squad, we have Philip and Max, who are actually brothers.
We're glad to be here.
And on Team Farm Crew, we have Megan and Maya. Hey! On these cue cards, I have farm animals, but I'm not gonna show you because it's a guessing game. So one teammate is gonna give you clues and mime the animal that you guys are guessing. All right, Team Barn Squad, you're up first. Go!
Crocodile. Chicken. Some sort of weird fish. A flying contraption.
Okay, time's up, you guys. Good try. Okay, Team Farm Crew, you're up. Ready? And go.
A cat. Kangaroo? No, wait, a horse?
Yeah, good job! You guys just got it. Okay, go.
Dog? Fish?
Yeah, good job! Go.
Chicken? What?
Keep going. Okay, time's up. Good try, guys. Okay, ready? And go.
Pig.
Good job. Okay, go. Go. You're gonna run out of time.
Cow? Pig?
No.
Oh, wait.
Okay, time's up. Good job. And go.
Chicken.
Yeah. Go.
Kangaroo? Bunny.
Yeah, you got it. Good job. That was the last one. Okay, Farm Crew, you got 2 points. Well done. And Barn Squad, you got 3 points, which means you win. Brotherhood. I wonder what kind of animals my friends would like to be. Ask a friend.
I would probably choose to be a sheep because I would be so cozy and warm all the time, and I wouldn't need to get dressed.
I would be a chick because they're small and fuzzy. I would like to be a pig because you get to roll in mud all day and be dirty.
I would be a pig because I love bacon and I would eat myself.
I would be a horse because I'm the only animal on the farm that actually gets to wear shoes.
I would like to be a hen because I would like to lay an egg.
A piggy because they're really stinky and I like stinky smells.
I hope I'd have a friendly farmer that would take care of me. Someone who knows that even though I'm not human, I'm smart. Flat Earth Corner! Your Honor, Polly Piglet is accused of stealing this bell from Calling Cow.
Moo! I will prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that Polly Piglet was lounging in his pig pen at the time of the alleged incident. Exactly. Polly Piglet has never been near Farmer Bob's pasture. It's much too far to walk on those stubby little legs. Furthermore, Polly has shown in all his actions and habits that he is the most honest of creatures. Can we say the same for calling cow? Hundreds of years ago, animals accused of doing something bad actually went to court. A real court. They had a lawyer and everything. It might sound strange to us today, but it shows that people in the past actually thought of animals like, well, people. So a cow could go to court. Speaking of cows, here's a question from Alexa.
How much milk can a cow produce per day?
Hey, looks like I'm heading to a farm again. A dairy farm. They know how much milk a cow can make, and it makes me want a vanilla milkshake. Say hi to the Anderson family. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Zoe.
So, how much milk can each one of these cows make in a day?
Some of them can make over 60 liters a day, and the milk truck comes every 2 days and picks up over 6,000 liters of milk.
Wow, that's a lot of milk. The Andersons have 104 cows here, and they want them all to be happy. Hey, they can walk around, and they're not in a tight space. Do you think that makes them happy?
Yes, we think so, because they could walk around whenever they want. They could lie down whenever they want. They could also eat or drink whenever they want.
They'd rather be in here than out in the hot sun or the freezing cold.
That reminds me of a question I got.
What type of technology do they have on the farm?
We have lots of technology here. See the bracelets on the cow's legs?
Kristen tells me it's like a step counter that people wear, except for cows. Back at the office, they monitor lots of different information on the cows. They even have special apps on their phones to help check on the cow's health. Sometimes when a cow isn't moving as much as usual, it might be sick, and they can check right away. Or if a cow is moving too much, it might be ready to give birth. Kristen's mom, Jody, is also a vet, and she's about to examine a pregnant cow.
All right, so this is Hazel, and she's 66 days pregnant. And so I'm going to use my ultrasound to show you.
Okay.
And so we just put my arm in. We have to take some manure out.
Does that hurt?
No, not at all, because my arm's pretty small.
Yeah.
I have a glamorous job, did I tell you that? And now I put the ultrasound probe with my hand in, and then we'll see the whole body. Its head, its neck.
Oh, yeah. I see the head and the neck. Amazing. Wow, it's like a shower.
Yeah, that's the cooling system. Water comes down automatically when it gets to a certain temperature, so the cows never get too hot.
Are the cows getting a back scratch?
Yeah, kind of. If they get itchy or flies on them, they can't scratch their back, so they come here. It's kind of like a massage.
And it works automatically. That's so cool.
Hey, Zoe, meet our robot, Olaf.
Cool, what does he do?
He pushes the feed in. When the cows eat, they kind of push the feed out. So Olaf pushes it back towards them. And he has little cameras under him, so he sees where he's going.
Cool, and you don't have to do it by hand?
Yep, but we still do lots of chores. Do you want to help me do my favorite chore?
Sure.
Let's shovel some poop. It's kind of like shoveling snow, except it's brown.
But shoveling poop is not exactly high-tech.
We have an alley scraper down there, and it pushes the poop all the way to here, but it doesn't go all the way into the gutter. So I have to push it into the gutter, and then it gets stored as fertilizer inside the manure pit, and that's the stuff we put on our crops to make them grow.
Hey, Zoe, it's milking time. Do you want to help?
Yeah, totally. So they come in by themselves?
Yeah, they know to come in by themselves because they love being milked.
Cool.
So we'll start with this cow?
The first thing is to squeeze a bit of milk out. And if it isn't lumpy, it means there's no infection and it's okay to continue. Now we need to put on the milker tubes.
Does it hurt the cows?
Absolutely not. It's actually like a massage and they enjoy being milked. Do you want to put your finger in and try it?
Sure.
Put your finger in, Kristen. You feel?
Yeah.
It's doing this to your finger. So it's a gentle massage. Push it right now. And this goes underneath. There you go.
Whoa, look at all that milk coming out. That was awesome. These cows seem really happy.
Healthy cows are happy cows.
Happy cows make more milk. Well, thanks for helping me find stuff out. These cows are making me feel musical.
Yes, a happy cow makes more milk and we work together like a family band. Oh, my happy cow makes more milk to drink. Someday I'm going to teach her how to sing this song with me in perfect harmony. Yes, a happy cow makes more milk indeed. We're good to each other and we get what we need. We're an awesome team. I'm every farmer's dream. Oh yeah.
The experiment!
A happy cow makes good milk. And from good milk, we can get cream. I'm going to use this cream to make butter. You need a cup of heavy cream. You pour it into the jar. And shake, shake, shake. Shake, 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 shake. And there it is, my ball of butter. Ah, delicious. I'm still trying to figure out Gio's question about what makes a good farm animal. So I'm going to speak to one more person. She's an animal scientist, and she's dedicated her whole life to the proper treatment of farm animals. Temple Grandin.
Temple is autistic, so her brain works a bit differently than other people's brains. When she was a little kid, she didn't start to speak until she was almost 4 years old. But she always understood animals in a special way. Hi, Temple. Thanks so much for agreeing to speak to me.
Well, it's great to be here today.
Do you love animals?
I certainly do. I've been working with animals all my life.
I heard that you have a different way of seeing the world, and it helps your work with animals. Can you tell me about that?
Well, I'm an extreme visual thinker. My mind thinks in images. And in the very first work I ever did with cattle, I noticed that cattle would see a shadow and refuse to walk over it, or there'd be a hose on the ground, and the cattle would see that and stop. And at the time that I started my research, I didn't know that other people weren't as visual as I was. But being a visual thinker helped me in work with animals, because animals don't think in words. They're gonna think in pictures. They're gonna think in sounds, smells. Back in the 70s, the 80s, and the early 90s, cattle handling was really bad. The idea of handling cattle in a calm, low-stress manner, nobody thought about that. So I worked with people on improving cattle handling, and equipment I've designed is in all of the major meatpacking companies in North America.
Do you think you're making cattle happier?
What I'm basically doing is making cattle be a lot less fearful and less stressed. Animals can feel pain, they can feel fear. They also can be happy. I've seen cattle play, run around, jumping around, playing. And we have got to give those animals a life that's worth living.
Well, thanks very much for your work, Temple.
Well, thank you very, very much for having me.
Now I'm ready to answer today's big question. For real this time.
What makes an animal a good farm animal?
Well, Gio, the big answer is being a happy animal.
I found out that when farm animals are treated well, they're healthier and happier. And that means they give us lots of the good stuff that helps us survive. Chickens lay more eggs, cows give more milk, and it makes them good farm animals. If we take care of the animals will take care of us.
So good. Thanks, cows. Thanks, farmers. Do you guys want a bite? See you next time for more Finding Stuff Out.
Yes.
Oh, hey, I'm a bit dirty. I'm making pies. Well, actually mud pies. I wonder if I could eat a mud pie. That reminds me of a great question I got. Oh,
Is dirt bad for you?
Maybe it's bad for me. I don't know the answer, but maybe your questions about dirt will help me figure it out. Here's a question from Ethan.
Why do you have to take a bath?
Flat Earth Corner! Bathing? Taking a bath? That's a quick turn to Sickville. Ew! Why, I've known quite a few people who have died because of baths, so I would never, ever chance bathing. Unless I was healthy enough for a full fortnight. You do need to smell nice, though. So, we'll just add a little bit more mud and a nice spritz of this. Now I'm ready for the ball. Achoo! Maybe just a bit more mud to get rid of the cold. In the Middle Ages, people really thought taking a bath was bad for you and would spread diseases. It's kind of how we think of dirt today, actually. But dirt can't be that bad on you, can it?
I mean, some people actually take mud baths at fancy spas.
So no need for me to take a bath to wash this mud off, right? Wait a second. Dirt can contain what?
That's right. There's insect poop in dirt.
Gross! So who would want to take a bath in all of this? Ugh.
Huh. It turns out the kind of mud they use for mud baths is different from regular mud.
Okay, so maybe we do need to take baths, and I should take one. Don't go away. Now that I'm nice and clean, I'm ready to answer this great question from Marina.
Are dirt and soil the same thing?
Uh-oh, do try this at home. To answer your question, Marina, dirt is what makes things dirty, so it can be soil and it can be dust. Pick up some dust around your house and compare it to the soil in your plants.
Soil is a kind of dirt that helps plants grow. But dust is something different.
Dust is made of stuff that floats in through the air like pollen, pet hair, and carpet fibers, along with some of the dirt you track in from outside. But you can't grow plants in dust. Soil is heavy and clumpy, and it's filled with lots of things that make it possible for plants to grow. It turns out plants actually like to eat stuff like rotting leaves and insect poop.
Ooh, yum, yum. To each his own, I guess.
Anyway, there are all different kinds of soil around the world, and they can be different colors.
Hey, look! It's my gum. I thought I lost that last year. I wonder if I can wipe off the dirt off and eat it. Thankfully, Aaron has a question that can help me.
If animals could eat dirt, why can't we?
Wait a second. Animals eat dirt?
Aaron is right. Some animals definitely eat dirt. They're called geophagic. Geo means dirt, and phagic means to eat. Like I found out before, there are nutritious bugs in dirt, but along with those bugs, there are also parasites and bacteria. Things that usually don't make animals sick, but that could make you really sick if you eat them.
Ew! I guess I shouldn't eat that.
Along with all that bad stuff, there are also lots of nutrients in dirt. Minerals like calcium and iron that help make animals strong. If certain animals don't eat dirt, they don't get the nutrients that help them survive and grow up strong. Haha, I'm stronger than you!
I'm okay.
Even though eating dirt can make humans sick, We get important nutrients from it too, except we get them by eating the plants that grow in dirt. Now, here's a question from Corrine.
Can you make stuff with dirt? To answer that, she makes cool things out of clay, and she's our special guest today. Please welcome ceramic artist Kathy Reeves.
Hey, Zoe.
Hi, Kathy.
Look what I brought you. These are pieces made of clay.
Wow, beautiful.
It's actually a kind of dirt, eh? Watch out, it's fragile.
Well, I'll try not to crack you up. Get it?
Yeah, got it.
Whoa, what's this crazy spinning thing?
This is a potter's wheel, and I'm gonna make a bowl with this clay.
So how does it get from this to this?
That's a good question. I bake it in an oven. It comes out like this. So feel how it's hard?
Yeah.
And then I'll dip it in a glaze, which is like paint.
Yeah.
And it goes back in the oven, which is called a kiln, to 2,000 degrees.
Wow, that's hot.
Here we go. I'm gonna wet my hands. I'm gonna open it up like a volcano. Now I'm gonna open up the piece to make it more like a bowl. Up we go. Do-do-do. So that ball of clay is turning into something you can use every day. So you can make something like this.
Wow, that's so cool.
I have magic fishing wire here, and I'll slice it right off. Choop. And if you pass me that tile there, I'm gonna slide this on, stick it right on there. Ta-da! I have to wait for it to dry completely, so it's gonna shrink. The water's gonna come out of the clay, it's gonna get smaller. And then once it's totally dry, I'll put it in that kiln. And then after about 8 hours, it'll come out like this. The pottery, it becomes like a rock when it's finished, solid, hard. And that's why we find clay pieces, shards in archaeological sites from thousands and thousands of years ago. It's so durable. Now we get to see how Zoe does it. Okay, so you're gonna place your hands like a butterfly. And we're gonna try to lift it together, and you'll make that like witchy poo hat. Put your hand on the top here and push that down. Push down, push down. So your fingers are gonna go like this, slowly, slowly. So go out. That. Now it's ready to come off the wheel. Zoe, look what you did. Proud? So I'll take this back to my studio and trim it and glaze it for you so it's ready to go.
Thanks, Kathy. Meanwhile, here's a question about things you can make with mud from Victoria.
How do I make houses out of mud?
I checked, and here's what I found out.
Ancient Egyptians used sand, silt, and clay and mixed it with straw to make bricks. They would let the bricks dry in the sun, and then they'd be ready.
Why mud, you ask? Well, because it's easy to get. It's cheap, and it's fireproof.
Thick dirt walls also keep houses warm in winter and cool in summer. And you can build a whole house with only a few tools besides your own 2 hands.
And the bricks are strong.
Mud bricks can be as strong and as durable as stone. In Africa, some mud brick buildings have been standing for thousands of years. Today, some people still make houses out of mud, like these mud houses in Mali. And this kind of mud house called adobe, found in the southwestern United States.
I wonder if we can make bricks out of mud, like people did in the past.
The experiment!
We're gonna make mud bricks.
Show me!
For this experiment, Adriana and Ariane used some water, soil, straw, a container, and a milk carton.
That mud seems muddy to me.
It feels gooey. The straw will make the bricks more solid.
Yeah, without straw, the bricks would crack and break more easily.
Now it's the fun part, where you dump the mud in the milk carton.
What's the next step?
We're gonna put it under the sun for a week so that it gets really hard. Well, these bricks were drying for 1 week.
Are they strong enough to build with?
Yep. We did it.
That's awesome. Now you have to build a whole house.
Are you joking?
Just kidding. Thanks for showing me. Bye, guys.
Bye.
That makes me have a question of my own.
Ask a friend.
If you could build your dream house out of mud, what would it look like?
It would be like a castle with like mud bricks, and it would be like a mud fountain squirting mud, but it's like edible mud. I would just live in the dirt, so I wouldn't even have a shower.
The bathroom would be all mud, and when you sit on it, it would just stick to your bum.
I'd like a mud house because I could get all the mud baths I ever wanted, and spa treatments.
I wouldn't need any staircases because I can just slide on the mud.
I would have a mud bed, and by the morning I would be covered in mud on my back, but still, it would still be fun.
I would have pet pigs so they can roll around in the mud, and I won't have to do a homework, so I can tell my teacher my homework got all full of mud.
Hey, Zoe, look what I have.
Whoa! Is this the bowl we made?
It sure is.
So I made something out of dirt that I can actually eat out of.
Yeah, and no bugs.
Well, thanks for helping me find stuff out, Kathy.
No problem. Oh, it was fun.
Wow, this clay is really hard. I found out about another really hard clay called porcelain. It doesn't just make cool ceramics. It's used to make all kinds of things, like floor tiles, toilet bowls, and even false teeth. It's hard to believe this used to be all wet and slippery. Leia has a question about that.
Why is mud so sticky?
To answer your question, I'm here at the Tofino Mudflats. A mudflat is an area by the ocean covered by layers of mud that can be as deep as almost 2 meters. At high tide, it's all covered with water. I'm meeting Emily Fulton, a marine biologist.
Hi, Zoe. Welcome to the Tofino Mudflats.
Thanks for having me. This place is awesome and sticky. I was hoping you could help me find the answer to Leah's question about why mud is so sticky and hard to walk on.
Let's check it out. So what we see here is kind of a mix of silt and sand and water and organic matter all kind of held together, and it's pretty sticky, but believe it or not, if there's more clay and dirt in the sand, then it'll make the mud even stickier.
Wow. So the stickiness of the mud has to do with the type of soils that make up and how much water is in it. Here, the tides cover the mudflats twice a day, so it's always sticky. But some soils that get very little water get super hard and definitely don't stick. Why does it smell so bad?
Well, in the sand here, we have lots of bacteria, and that could make it kind of stinky. If you look down here, the really dark patches in the mud, those are anoxic places. So there's no oxygen when you go deeper into the sand. And that's where the bacteria lives, and that's the stinky part.
So you probably would not want to eat mud pies from here.
If you ate one from here, it wouldn't hurt you, but it might not be very tasty.
No thanks. I have another question. It's from Kenya.
Do creatures live in the mud?
There are thousands of creatures that live in the mud here. So all around us, you see all these tiny little holes in the mud?
Yeah?
Those are made from tiny creatures that are living underneath. I can see some little creatures by your boots here.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a ghost shrimp. They like to burrow into the mud. They're some of the ones that make all these little holes that we see. Wow, take a look at this.
Whoa.
So this is a moon snail. It's the biggest kind of snail you're gonna find around here.
Wow, that's crazy.
Looks like it's burrowing back in, you can see.
It is so gooey.
They are really gooey.
Oh, look at it, it's going in.
These guys don't actually have eyes like we do. So when it feels us touching the side of it, it doesn't know if we're predators. It might think we're trying to eat it.
So what is that beside it?
Believe it or not, this is what a moon snail's eggs look like. Looks kind of like rubber, doesn't it? And it feels kind of like rubber. So this is thousands and thousands and thousands of little tiny eggs squished between sand and mucus to protect them.
Wow, well, there really are a lot of creature and foods in this mud. Thanks for helping me find stuff out.
My pleasure. I had a lot of fun in the mud with you. But I can see the tide's coming in, so it's probably a pretty good time to get going.
Yeah. I'm sinking!
Let's get you out of here.
I can do it. Gotta wiggle. I gotta wiggle. I got it. Woo!
High five.
That was a hard one. That was fun. And I'm not the only one who likes to be in mud, as this question from Emma shows.
Why do pigs love rolling in the mud so much?
Let's ask an expert.
Ask a pig. I hate to be all clean and pink. I want to get in mud and stink. But summer I don't need a pool. A puddle of mud will keep me cool. Yeah! Rolling mud is my delight. It means the flies and bugs can't bite. The sun can't burn my dainty skin when I'm covered in mud in my pig pen. Now that you know how we pigs think, don't you want to roll in mud and stink? Don't you want to roll in mud and stink? Yeah!
No thanks, but enjoy your mud bath. I found out other reasons pigs like to roll in mud. Sometimes there's pig food in it.
In France, farmers use pigs to find mushroom-type things called truffles. Truffles grow in the dirt near the roots of trees, and they're super delicious.
Chocolate truffles are totally different things. They're called that because they kind of look like truffles.
But the rarest truffle is the mysterious white Alba truffle. Ooh. I found out that they cost thousands of dollars a kilogram. So when the pigs are truffle hunting, they're looking for buried treasure. Ah, buried treasure! Arr! Did someone say buried treasure? Yoink! Wah, 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 wah.
And that gives me an idea for...
My Great Challenge!
Today's challengers are Pig Ella, oink oink, and Pig Megan. Today, you're gonna be truffle pigs. Now, these aren't real truffles, but we'll pretend they are. There are a bunch of these hidden in the mud. The challenge is you have to dig your face in the mud, and then once you find a truffle, you have to pick it up with your mouth.
Ew!
No! Just kidding. You're gonna use your hands. Okay, on your marks, get set, go! Come on! Dig, dig, dig! You gotta look everywhere. They're hidden all over the mud, like in the corners. Keep looking, you guys. Keep going. You guys gotta dig faster and harder. Come on. Oink, oh, oink. You found one. Good job. You find anything?
Yes.
Yeah, good job, Ella. Maybe try looking in the corners. Find one? Good job.
Oink, oink.
Good job, Megan.
Piggies, stop fooling around and dig up those truffles.
These pigs must be in heaven.
Oink,
Oh,
oink.
good job, Megan.
Oink, oink.
Good job. 10 seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
What's that hedgehog doing there?
4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, time's up, you guys. Bring me your buckets. Okay. Ella, let's see how many you got. You got 2. Good job. Okay, Megan. Let's see how many you got. You got 5 and a hedgehog. So you won. Good job.
Next question.
Is there dirt everywhere in the universe?
Yummy cheese. Well, Juliet, I checked, and lots of planets we know have their own kind of dirt, like this red dirt from Mars. But I found out something even more amazing. There's stardust from exploding stars all over the universe. Some of the stardust is in dirt and even in our own bodies.
Turns out our bodies and dirt have something in common. So I think I finally know how to answer Nayla's question.
Is dirt bad for you?
The big answer is... yes and no.
Dirt is bad for you in some ways. We shouldn't really eat mud pies. There are things in dirt that can be unhealthy, but we also need dirt. We grow our fruits and vegetables in dirt, we make all kinds of useful things with dirt, and our bodies need some of the minerals that are in dirt.
In a way, our bodies are partly made out of dirt. We couldn't live without it. So I guess because I'm already part dirt, I might as well go out and play in the mud, right? See you next time for more Finding Stuff Out. Hey, that reminds me of a question I got from Mohammed.
Why does my body make so much noises?
Pardon me, Mohammed. I'm not sure why my body burps, or hiccups, or sneezes, or farts. But I'll find out by the end of the show. I asked my friends what kind of weird noises their bodies make.
Ask a friend. One time I coughed and sneezed at the same time, and it kind of made a noise like...
When I grind my teeth, it sounds like my guinea pigs when they do it.
Cracking my fingers. My tummy makes a really weird sound, kind of like...
When I'm nervous, like...
A fart sound with my armpit. When I was a baby, I farted a lot and I burped it a lot.
And now?
Still a lot, but a lot more.
My sneeze is so loud that it scares people.
Once in class, I farted so hard that I went up, and it was really loud.
I wonder why our bodies just can't keep quiet. To find out, I call the doctor. Doctor, my body won't pipe down. Whatever it is, Dr. Robert, make it stop. Hi, Dr. Robert.
Hi, Zoe. I heard that you had some questions, and I brought a friend, Uvula, to help us answer them. Don't you think she has jaw-dropping good looks?
Dr. Robert, I should probably let Logan ask a question before I start burping again.
Why do people burp so much? Oh, sorry.
Well, normally we burp anywhere from 6 to 20 times a day.
Okay, but what if you've burped that much in the last 5 minutes?
Well, how much you burp depends a lot on your digestive system, and also how much air you swallow when you're eating and drinking. So I think in your case, it's possible that you've been burping a lot because you've been drinking too much, water.
Did you do that on command?
Yes, I did it on command.
Cool, can you teach me how to do that?
Well, as long as you promise not to do it in school.
Yep.
Okay. You have to take a big breath in like you're breathing, except while you're doing that, you have to swallow. So you go kind of like this. And then when you feel it inside you go...
Like that?
Exactly. Zoe, could you hold these raisins for me?
Yeah.
So if we look at uvula, you can see 2 holes leading down these tubes. So this tube in front is called the trachea, and it is for air. It's supposed to go through to your lungs to help you breathe and to help you talk. And this tube back here is the esophagus, and that is meant for food and drink, not for air. But sometimes when we eat and drink, we also swallow some air, and air goes down the esophagus into the stomach. And then it has to come out.
As a burp?
Exactly. How about we take some raisins and we can give them to uvula and see how it works?
Oh, I thought these were for me. Here.
Sometimes if you eat foods such as like broccoli or bananas or raisins, you might be burping a little bit more.
Better lay off the raisins.
Well, here's a question I think you can help me answer. How long can a burp be?
Well, I do know someone who used to be able to burp the whole supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, but I don't really know how long a burp can be.
Let me go check that out.
All right, I'll be here if you need me.
Wow, I can't believe this.
You're gonna make my head explode! The longest burp ever recorded was 1 minute, 13 seconds, and 57 milliseconds by Michele Forgione in Italy. In 2009, Paul Hunt set the Guinness World Record for the loudest burp at 109.9 decibels.
Sorry.
That's louder than a jackhammer at 1 meter away!
Wow, but I guess it's better out than in, because if you need to burp and don't, it can go down your digestive system and cause gas from the other end. So if excess air and gases make us burp, does that mean there's nothing wrong with me?
Well, in your case, probably not. It's probably just that you were drinking too much of the bubbly water. But sometimes if people are burping a lot, it could mean that they have something wrong with their health and need to see their doctor.
Well, here's a question from Juliet.
Why does your stomach grumble?
Here, Zoe, why don't you take a listen yourself?
Sounds like I'm really sick.
No, I don't think so. I think that's just the sound of a healthy digestive system.
Oh, phew.
These gurgles happen all day long. It's a sound of air bubbles moving through your digestive system. And when there's food in your stomach, sometimes these noises can be harder to hear.
So when your tummy rumbles, it just means it's empty and it's time for you to fill it?
It can mean that, but you can also hear grumbling in your digestive system when you have food in it and your body is digesting it.
That reminds me. Here's another funny body sound question.
Can everyone whistle? Uh-oh, do try this at home.
Yes, everyone can whistle. It's just a high-pitched noise made by blowing air through a small hole. Step 1 is to pucker up. Step 2 is to blow.
My tongue needs to be in just the right position, or we get... That's more like it.
If you're having trouble whistling by blowing air through your lips, try sucking instead. Hey, I wonder what other weird noises we can make with our mouths.
Wow, that's beatboxing, and it's super cool. And I want to do it. So I met up with beatboxing champ Malcolm Humes and his friends Tanika and Olivier. That was the best.
It's super easy. All you have to do is use your nose, mouth, and throat together as an instrument.
Cool. I never thought of it that way.
First, you start off with a B that sounds like the second sound is a T that sounds like t. And the last sound is a K that sounds like and then you say the sentence, boots and cats. See, you're already beatboxing. It's really simple because when you're doing boots and cats, you're already doing the t and t.
So how is it we can make the same noise but sound so different?
Well, it's because we all have different shaped mouths. So even if we do the same beat, it'll sound different. was awesome.
Thanks.
Great job.
You too. Thanks. Can you show me your coolest sound?
I think my favorite sound is pretty much how it works is I break it down in 4 sounds and together really fast. It sounds like
That's so cool. It's like you have another mouth in there. Now I want to hear how you beatbox. It's time for My Great Challenge! These are my friends who like to box a beat. They practice day and night, but will they bring the heat to the fighting stuff out? Beatbox me. Okay, guys, here are the rules. Each challenger has to impress us with their beatboxing skills.
We'll be judging you on creativity, performance, and rhythm. Are you ready?
Yeah!
All right, Max, here you go.
Good job.
Awesome.
All right, Tucker, your turn.
Woo!
Good job, Tucker. Okay, guys, we're gonna go to side. We'll be back.
Who do you think is gonna win? You. Well, I think you're gonna win. Thank you, but I still think that you're gonna win. 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 No. You are.
Okay, guys, we've got the result.
I personally think that Tucker did really good because it was super creative.
I also think Max did a really good job because he had a good rhythm.
And the winner is...
Tucker, you won! Good job, Tucker.
I told you so.
Wasn't me! See, I told you so. But this reminds me of another question I got.
Why do people fart a lot?
Did you know the average person farts up to 50 times a day? To help explain why, here's an experiment. The experiment! Hi, Melissa and Harrison.
Hi, Zoe. We're gonna be making farts in a cup. Ew.
Farts in a cup? But how?
We are gonna first add the glue and then...
We're gonna add some food coloring.
Harrison, why are you using green?
Because that is the fartiest color.
We have mixed everything together and we're gonna add liquid starch.
Oh. I put these in our cups.
I'm blown away by your talent. Thanks, guys.
Bye, Zoe.
Noises like farts are made by air bubbles trapped in the goo trying to escape. Just like in our bodies. Food is digested by bacteria that lives in our stomach and intestines. They break down food and make gas. That gas has to go somewhere, so... Oopsie. Farting happens for pretty much the same reason as burps. Gas buildup. Oops. Some foods are harder to break down and cause bacteria to make extra gas, like how beans make you fart. Excuse me. Other causes are food intolerances or even where you are. On a plane, the pressure being so high in the air pushes on the gas in your body, which means more farts.
Sounds like the reasons we fart are as unique as farts themselves.
Oh, farts are as different as snowflakes. Some are silent as a mouse, some take down the house. Some toot, some tremble, some roar. From the tiniest squeak to the quack of a beak. A fart might stink, but it's never a bore. Oh, farts are as different as snowflakes. It depends on your bum, if they explode like a gun, or if they're silent but deadly. Some patooties just poof, while others raise the roof. Eat lots of beans and you'll make quite the medley.
Speaking of gas, I found out that the sound of cracking your knuckles is actually gas being released.
Each finger joint is protected by a sac of liquid. When we crack our joints, we stretch the sac and gas is released, making a pop, crackle, and snap.
Flat Earth Corner!
Uh-oh, help!
In ancient Russia, we believe hiccups mean you're cursed with bad luck. Lucky, there's another old Russian superstition that says hiccups mean someone is thinking about you. I wonder what's got me on their mind.
We now know none of these theories are true.
When our stomachs expand after eating too much, too fast, or drinking carbonated drinks, the stomach irritates the diaphragm, which makes it contract. But eating and drinking aren't the only way we get hiccups. Babies can get them after coughing or crying.
Now here's a question from Megan.
What's the longest someone's hiccuped?
Well, Megan, I found out in 1922, Charles Osborne picked up a pig to weigh it when he started hiccuping. And he kept hiccuping for the next 68 years.
What if I never stop? It says here that there's lots of things people do to get rid of hiccups, but there's no foolproof cure. Dr. Robert, you scared me.
Did it work?
No.
We should probably try something different.
Gargle. Hold your breath. Drink upside down. Hold your tongue. Eat lemon.
What am I going to do? None of these home remedies worked. Hang on. I'm not hiccuping.
Wow. Well, there are a lot of home remedies out there and a lot of stuff you can find online. But really, nothing is proven to work. After some time, the hiccups will usually go away on their own.
Cool. Sorry. That reminds me.
How can some people have really loud sneezes and other people have really quiet sneezes?
Well, Indira, the more air you take in, and the bigger you are, and the more forcefully it comes out, the louder the sneeze is. Some people can control their sneezes by stifling them.
What's the difference between sneezing and coughing?
Well, when you sneeze, it's your body trying to keep your nasal passages clear and forcing things out with a gush of air. And when you cough, it's your body trying to keep things from going down into your lungs and keeping your airway clear. A cough really helps protect our lungs, because if we have our friend uvula here from before, and we see this pipe that is in front, that is the one that goes down to your lungs, and we don't want anything getting in there. So, if you have saliva dripping down, like when you laugh too hard, or stuff that's dripping down the back of your nose, or something like food that's going where it's not supposed to go, well, your body coughs to protect your lungs and forces it out.
So, I was just laughing too hard?
Yeah, I think that probably was the case.
Well, thanks, Dr. Robert.
Thank you, Dr. Zoe.
Coughing, sneezing, burping, farting. Wow, our bodies really don't know when to shut up. What? How do you do that?
Dr. Robert's secret.
And I think I'm ready to answer the question that inspired today's show.
Why does my body make so much noises?
And the big answer is... Well, Mohammed, I think the best way for me to answer this is in song. So I asked Malcolm to come back and help me.
You ready?
Yeah. Our bodies are noisy living machines. We burp, hiccup, or sneeze. Joints go crack, our butts go pop. The reason for this is quite the gas. We swallow, digest, or just need to fast. Excess gases or too much air make bellies sound like a cranky bear. The best noise that I have found are the beats I break to get down. It's what I know, I have no doubt. I'll see you next time on Finding Stuff Out.
Whoa, this lump of coal is hard. You're probably wondering why I'm trying to squish it anyway. Well, it's because of a question I got from Benjamin.
When you squish a piece of coal, how does it turn into a diamond?
How does a piece of coal turn into a diamond when you squish it? I don't know. I don't even know if it's possible. But coal is carbon, and diamonds are carbon. So, I'm gonna find out the answer because if I can turn this coal into a big sack of diamonds, yes, I'm rich. I'm rockin' rich.
Diamonds are one of the most valuable rocks in the world. Kings used to put them in their crowns, and today they're used in fancy jewelry. The most famous diamond in the world is called the Hope Diamond. It's supposed to have a curse. Diamonds are hard to find though, so if I want to have some, I'll have to make them.
I guess I have to do more research. Meanwhile, here's a question from Madison.
What's the difference between rocks and minerals?
I checked, and rocks are made out of minerals, but minerals aren't made of rocks. Wait, what? How can rocks be made of minerals, but minerals aren't made of rocks? Do scientists have rocks in their head? Brain getting warm, brain starting to go volcanic? You're gonna make my head explode! It might sound confusing, but I checked and it works sort of like this. Minerals are like the parts of a sandwich. The bread is just bread, lettuce is just lettuce, the cheese is just cheese, and the tomatoes are just tomatoes. But if you put them all together, then you make a sandwich. And this one's got my name on it. That's good too. Rocks are like the whole sandwich.
Put some minerals together, and it's a rock.
Also, don't talk with your mouth full, especially if you're doing a television show. Now here's a question from Leo.
How does a rock become a rock?
How does a rock become a rock? Let's answer it with some hard rock. Rock cycle, time to get down. Rock cycle down in the ground. When the pressure starts, then things get hot. You're gonna get molten rock. Smushed up minerals all combined to make the different rocks you find. Mountains are born, then they get worn down. New rock, old rock, switches around in the rock cycle. Yeah, rock on, rock it out.
Now here's a question from Munir.
How many kinds of rocks exist in the world?
I don't know, Munir, but I know someone who does, and he rocks. Please welcome Matt Herod. Hey,
Cool rocks.
Oh, thanks, Harrison. They rock.
Rocks! So how did you get started into collecting rocks?
So I started when I was 10. I was given a little kit of different minerals as a Christmas present, and that got me really interested in learning all about rocks, reading all about them.
Okay, so to answer Munir's question, how many rocks are there in the world?
So there are 3 types of rocks on Earth. There's igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary rocks. Igneous rocks form when we melt other rocks, like in a volcano or something. This rock has quartz, feldspar, and mica.
Wow, so that could have come out of a volcano?
That's right. When this rock cooled, those 3 minerals formed. This is a sedimentary rock, and you can see it's just like a big bunch of mud all hardened together. Sedimentary rocks form when we break apart other rocks, and the sand or the mud that forms washes down a river, and eventually it settles down, and then eventually it hardens to form a sedimentary rock. The final type of rock is metamorphic rocks, and they're formed when we take an igneous rock or a sedimentary rock and we bury it really, really deep in the earth.
I found out that it's super hot in the middle of the earth. So these kinds of rocks melt down there and get squished together, right?
Exactly. All that heat and all that pressure causes it to change into a metamorphic rock.
So that's 3 ways that rocks can get made. But how many kinds of rocks are there altogether?
Well, when we change the way that they form, different conditions, we can get all sorts of different combinations and make thousands of different types of rocks.
This is your collection of rocks here. Is this your full collection?
No, I have so many more rocks back home. I haven't filled up my attic, but I certainly filled up the basement and the garage.
Well, Tatiana had a question about some rocks that are out of this world.
Are rocks different on other planets than Earth?
That's a great question. Some rocks on other planets are a lot like the ones we find on Earth. Others are completely different. So today I brought with me a sample of a meteorite.
You mean a rock that fell to Earth from outer space?
Exactly.
Why are you putting that glove on?
Because the grease on our fingers can actually contaminate the outer surface of that meteorite or ruin it if scientists want to analyze it. So here's the meteorite I brought. And you can see on the outside, it's all burned and brown.
Yeah.
Like I just took it out of my oven. But that's actually from when it flies through the earth, it starts to heat up, and then it gets this outer brown color on it. That's called the crust. So this meteorite's been cut in half, and we can see that the inside is all speckled with different types of minerals inside.
Munir, Matt says that the rocks astronauts brought back from the moon and the ones that were studied on Mars show us that rocks from space can be different from ours on Earth. But scientists think that the minerals they're made out of are the same everywhere in the universe.
In fact, we believe that there might even be a planet that's made of diamonds.
A planet made of diamonds? If you found that planet, you'd be so rich.
Yeah, it's really, really far away, though.
That reminds me of a question from Malinka.
Why are some rocks worth more than others?
Yeah, so why are some rocks worth more than others?
So the first reason is rarity. If it's really hard to find, and if there's not very much of it, then it's going to be worth more. The second is if it's really useful. If it's a mineral that can be used for something to help people, then it's going to be worth more.
Oh, I heard iron ore helps make steel, which is used to build things like bridges and cars. Is that why it's worth more?
Exactly. And the third reason is it costs more to get out of the earth, then it's going to be more valuable.
That's why diamonds are so expensive, right?
That's right. Diamonds are really hard to get out. They're really rare, and they're both pretty and desirable and useful.
Cool. Can you stick around to help me find more stuff out?
Yeah, my pleasure.
Awesome. Now here's another question. This one's from Gianni.
What do you use rocks for?
So Gianni asked me what rocks and minerals, like metal, are used for. I thought of some answers, but I was hoping these guys could help me figure out some other things that are made out of rocks.
Pyramids, railings, earrings, fences, houses, garbage cans.
Golden medals, like for the Olympics.
The kettle that you make tea or coffee in.
Cars and some lamps.
Watches and lampposts.
Cement.
Pots, pans,
Statues.
wedding rings.
TVs.
Almost everything are made out of rocks.
Wow, you sure use a lot of rocks. So Gianni, to answer your question,
Looks like we couldn't get by a single day without using rocks.
That's a lot of rocks!
Here's a question from Victoria.
I like to have some gold. Where can I find some?
The Flat Earth Corner! In medieval Europe, scientists called alchemists thought they could actually turn common metals like lead into expensive metals like gold. They thought all you had to do was add mysterious chemicals and...
Ta-da!
Huh? Nothing happened.
Wait, that was the chemical for my invisibility potion. You can still see me. Good. Okay, so now you take a little sprinkle of this and turn the cheap piece of lead into priceless mess. For hundreds of years, people thought they could make gold out of cheap metals like lead, but it didn't work.
Actually, Victoria, there's a lot of gold in the world, but it's usually mixed in with other stuff in very tiny amounts. In a gold mine, they mine tons of rock and take all the little bits of gold out of it. Another way miners find gold is by panning for it in streams.
And that's today's...
My Great Challenge!
All right, today my challengers are Zach.
Yeah!
And Brianna.
Woo!
You're gonna pan for gold like real miners. Also, Matt came in because he helped me build a stream.
Streams are a great place to find gold. Gold, when it washes out of rocks, is so heavy, it washes down streams and it sinks to the bottom and gets caught in the sands and the gravels. So then all you have to do is come and scoop it out. And look what I brought with me.
Whoa! Did you find that in a stream?
I wish. I had to chip this out of a rock. This is a mineral called pyrite, or fool's gold, and it looks just like gold. And it's even fooled some miners in the past.
All right, so we don't have pyrite for you, but we have actual real fake gold for you to find. Are you pumped to find real fake gold?
Yeah! We're gonna get fake rich!
All right, take your positions. You'll have 2 minutes to pan all of this water and find as much gold as you can. The one who finds the most gold will be the winner. Are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go!
That's right, guys. Swirl that water around and find the gold.
Getting a lot of sand there, Brianna.
Swirl, swirl.
I need water. It's cold. It's cold.
You really need to get a lot of water so you can
Yeah.
get rid of the sand, right? And find the gold.
That's right.
Brianna's got some. She's off to a great start. She'll be fake rich in no time. And Zach has some too, but he's got some catching up to do. Remember, the more you swish, the more you get fake rich.
That gold is super heavy. It's always at the bottom of the pan. Get more water. Keep going, keep panning. More water, that's the trick.
Brianna's looking for that buried treasure.
Look at that.
Zach's got some more. He might be catching up. Brianna likes to dig through the sand to find her gold. Zach has a different way of doing it. He likes to swirl the water around.
It's all technique.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
Oh, I had this. That's not even gold. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, well.
So close.
You dropped it.
All right, let's see who got the most gold. Zach, let's weigh yours. 11 grams.
Whoa.
How much would that be worth if it was real gold?
That's like $500.
My precious.
And Brianna, let's weigh yours. 26 grams.
Whoa!
That's like $1,100 of real money.
You're the winner.
Yes!
Congratulations. But I guess you both win because you get to keep the real fake gold.
Okay.
So would you guys like to do this all day for your job? Pan for gold?
No, thank you. Because then I just keep it.
And then it'd be real gold, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for playing. Now here's a question from Joseph.
How do rocks grow?
Rock-a-bye, baby rocks. Come on, little baby rocks. Grow! Grow!
I've been watering these rocks for days now, but still nothing.
I bet you think this is silly, but there really are types of rocks that do grow. Can rocks grow? To find out, I'm going deep inside some caves. And to show me around, here's Riles Forest. Hey, Riles.
Hi, Harrison. You excited to go caving today?
Yeah, so where are you gonna take me?
Trevor and I are going to show you through Riverbank Cave, which is the deepest cave here at Horn Lake. Let's go caving.
Sure, but what about non-rocky things like bats or bears or something?
Don't worry, we won't find any, except for maybe some moths, cave crickets, or spiders.
I wonder if there'll be diamonds. Can rocks grow in there?
Yeah, we're going to see some pretty cool different things. I'll show you. I think caving's really cool that you can go in a place that not many people have been in before, and you can explore different places and have crazy adventures sometimes. You never know what's around the corner.
This is a cool ladder. Woo! Ah. This is so cool. Wow. Can you see rocks growing in here?
All this white pretty stuff you see hanging from the roof and on the walls, you can always see them growing. It's called calcite. So it's when the water flows through the cave and then picks up bits of calcium. And the rock has the calcium because it's made of dead sea animals, their shells and bones. So when the water picks up the calcium and then drips from the ceiling, it'll leave a little ring. And then over years, it'll build up and then get longer and longer.
And that's like a stalactite, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then if it still has some calcium left, it'll drip onto the ground and form a stalagmite.
Stalagmite, stalactite. So how can you tell the difference between them?
Stalactites stick tight to the roof. Stalagmites might reach the top one day. Or C for ceiling, G for ground.
Cool.
And then when they connect, they form a column.
A column. So that would be from like the floor all the way up to the roof.
Yep.
It doesn't look like they're growing right now.
But they are. They grow 2.5 centimeters every 100 years.
Wow. That's not very
And
that's
that's
not very
the
fast.
fastest one.
Oh, that's the fastest one?
Yeah.
So we won't be able to see them grow with our eyes.
No.
Still really cool.
There's also lots of other calcite formations, like draperies, bacon strips. There's a cave crocodile. A cave wolf. It's amazing, all the different ones.
Yeah.
I got one other cool thing to show you. Come on.
Cool. There we go. There's water!
There's water! Waterfall water. Yeah, so this formation we're coming up to is called the Ice Cream Waterfall. It's actually 3 stories tall.
Wow, this is so cool. Oh, and it looks like there's diamonds.
Don't touch it. If you touch it, it'll kill it because calcite is like crystals, kind of. So when the water flows through with the calcite, it'll catch on the crystals and keep building up bigger and bigger. But if you touch it, it'll break them down, and the oils from your skins will break them down. So if you touch it, it can't grow anymore.
Oh, that's no
You
good
pretty
then.
much kill it.
Oh no. The crystals look a lot like diamonds. Are you sure they're not diamonds?
I'm sure.
Is there diamonds in caves though?
Some caves in other parts of the world, you can find diamonds, but not in these caves.
Darn. So you wouldn't happen to know how to squish coal into diamonds, would you?
No, sorry.
Darn. Well, thanks, Riles, for being on my show and showing me all these cool caves.
Thanks for being interested into caves.
Oh, and I know one more thing that caves and rocks are really good for. Having fun. So it turns out that rocks really can grow. And that's the subject for today's... The Experiment! I'm going to see if I can grow my own rocks the same way they grow in a cave. I have 2 jars of water here in which I am dissolving Epsom salts. Then I'm taking this string with 2 weights attached to each end so that it'll sink to the bottom of each jar. Then I'm gonna slide this plate underneath and wait. As you can see, a week later, I've grown some stalactites and the start of some stalagmites. Pretty cool. Going to the caves with Riles was pretty fantastic, but I still want to turn coal into diamonds. So I'm trying to squish it using these elastic bands. And in a minute, I'll reveal it and then answer the question that started me on this rocky road.
When you squish a piece of coal, how does it turn into a diamond?
Well, Benjamin, the big answer is... it's just coal. Sorry, Benjamin. But if there's any way to turn this into a diamond, I bet I know who can tell me. Hey, Matt, I have a question.
Yeah, sure, Harrison.
I was trying to make diamonds out of this coal because I heard people can do it, but I couldn't do it.
Well, it takes a lot more than rubber bands and hope to make diamonds out of coal, Harrison.
Surprise! Matt says that most diamonds are not made from coal. They're actually made from other kinds of carbon material, deep underground under very high temperatures and pressures. But now, scientists have found a way to make them in special labs.
The way they do it is they take carbon, like coal, and they heat it and they squeeze it at tons of pressure and heat, and they try to simulate the same conditions that we see in nature.
And voila, man-made diamonds.
Are synthetic diamonds like that worth as much as real diamonds?
No, there's no replacement for nature.
Well, thanks for helping me find stuff out, even though you couldn't help me make a fortune in diamonds.
No problem. Well, let me give it a try.
Sure. What? How did you do that?
Magic hands.
It's gone.
Rock on, Harrison.
Wow.
Hey, Rocky, check out what happened at the cave.
So just remember, if you're going down and you kick a rock down, just remember to yell, rock, so that everybody below you knows not to look up when the rock's falling down.
Hey, you know what? This is really cool. This rocks. This rocks.
What? Rocks?
Sorry, I was just getting really excited about the rocks.
Oh, okay.
See you next time for more Finding Stuff Out. Hi, and welcome to Finding Stuff Out, the show where I answer... Oh, I have an itch. I can't reach it. I know exactly what will help. Spaceship. That's not it. Mr. Snugglesworth, I've been looking all over for you. I mean, I'm saving him for research. Ah, here it is. Ah, my trusty back scratcher. Now I can finally reach the itch. It's like having really long fingernails. Anyway, like I was saying, welcome to Finding Stuff Out, the show where you send in your questions and I find out the answers. I've been thinking about fingernails lately because of this question.
What would happen if you never cut your fingernails? Would they keep on growing forever?
Yeah, imagine if they did. I'd be able to reach the itch on my back and look like a vampire on Halloween. I am Count Harrison. I have come... Hey, is that an olive on my fingernail? Gross. Now, I don't know if our fingernails will grow forever, but by the end of the show, I'll find out the answer. And all kinds of things about how our bodies grow and change. Now, here's a question from Rivian.
How do we grow?
This is a water expandable dinosaur. Check this out. I thought about what would happen in a swimming pool if just adding water worked for humans. Check out this animation I made. Luckily for pools, we don't grow like that. A human starts out as a tiny embryo inside her mother, then grows into a baby, becomes a child, and then finally develops into an adult. Lots of animals do that. But how? I checked, and growing happens because of two things. One, the genes that you inherit from your parents. Every cell in our body has genes that we get from both of our parents. Genes carry the information that gives us our special traits, like the color of our hair and skin, and our height. So there's not much you can do about that. Two, there is something you can do. Eat nutritious food and exercise. That will help you grow and regrow cells. Hey, so if I ate all this celery, would that be diet or exercise? Anyway, here's a question from Kira.
Why do we stop growing?
If we didn't stop growing, we'd hit our heads on the ceiling, go through the roof, bump our heads on trees, and smash into the moon. I guess it's a good thing that we stopped growing at some point, but I'm not exactly sure why it happens. I read that newborn babies grow 1 to 1.5 inches per month. Okay, if a baby grows that fast, then according to my calculations, it would be 44 inches when it's 2 years old, 56 inches when it's 3 years old, and wait a second, 14 feet when it's 9. What? Ah! You're gonna make my head explode. To answer your question, Kira, please welcome my special guest, Dr. John Mitchell. Oh, that is one scary dude.
Hi, Harrison. Thanks for having me.
Welcome to my show.
Thank you.
So, can you tell me why we stopped growing?
Well, if we continued to grow at the rate that we did as a baby, which, as you mentioned before, is about 1 inch every month, we would grow, well, as big as a whale, really.
Hey, baby, get your own sea aquarium.
Yeah, why doesn't that happen?
Well, it's interesting. We start off growing very fast, but if we look at our bones, and this is an X-ray of a small baby's hand, we can see that it's got all the bones that we see here, but we can't see all the bones very well.
Dr. Mitchell compares the X-ray picture of a baby's hand to a grown-up hand, like the one on the skeleton. That's an X-ray of a grown-up hand. And that's the baby's hand. There's lots more space between the bones. And check out the fingers. There are big bones and tiny bones. I found out from Dr. Mitchell that as we grow older, the tiny bones and the big bones join together and the space between them disappears.
As a baby, we have about 270 bones, but as adults, we only have 206 bones.
Oh.
It's not really the fact that we're losing bones, but as we mature, those bones will fuse together. Where this is really important is our skull. If we look at a skull, we can see that there's sutures in a skull, and that's actually caused from bones fusing together. We need lots of mobility in our skull early on because our brain is growing very fast.
Oh, that's why there's a soft spot in a baby's head.
That's right, but after a few years, our bones have fused in our skull because our brain is not growing as fast anymore.
I have a question from Alicia, and I think you can help find the answer for it, so let's check it out.
Do girls grow faster than boys?
So, Amanda and Christian, welcome to Finding Stuff Out.
Hi. How's it going?
Good. So, you're both 12 years old, but you're not the same size. So, does that mean girls grow faster than boys?
They do at some times during childhood, but they generally also mature faster. Now, boys continue to grow at a later age, and they finish growing later than girls.
Right.
And boys eventually will grow taller than girls on average.
That reminds me of a question from Alexander.
How tall will I be when I grow up?
Yeah. Is there a way to figure that out, Dr. John?
Well, actually, there's a formula that can help us estimate our final adult height. It's not totally accurate, but we can use it for predicting our height.
That sounds perfect for this week's... Uh-oh. Do try this at home. So this is Dr. John's formula. As you can see, you do your dad's height plus your mom's height, and if you're a boy, you add 5 inches, and if you're a girl, you subtract 5 inches. Then you divide the whole thing by 2. So my mom is 60 inches, plus my dad's height, he is 69 inches, plus 5 inches because I'm a boy, and then you divide that whole thing by 2. So according to this calculation, I'm going to be 5 foot 7 inches.
However, if you've got all the short genes in your family or all the tall genes, you could be plus or minus 4 inches from there. So anywhere from about 5'3" to about 5'11".
Okay, so what are your results?
67.
So that's approximately 5'7". How tall are you now?
5'8".
5'8". So we see already you probably got some of your parents' taller genes.
Wow. And what about you, Christian?
I got 65.
65 inches, so that's 5'5".
Exactly. How tall are you now?
4'8".
So we would expect, on average, that we would reach up to 5'5". You got a little bit more room to grow.
Wow.
Will I grow taller or I will stay this height forever?
Generally, girls will continue to grow approximately 2 years after they finish their puberty. So if you haven't finished with your puberty yet, you're going to still continue to grow.
So that means I'll be taller?
I don't give exact predictions, but I could say right now that you're going to be taller than you are.
There's one main thing that I find cool about this. It's cool, basically. That's all I have to say about this. This is like cool.
Well, thanks, Dr. John, for being on my show.
No problem. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, and Amanda and Christian, I'll see you guys later.
All right.
But sometimes you can't predict how tall you're going to be by looking at your parents.
Who's the tallest person in the world and who's the shortest person in the world?
I checked, and the tallest person in the world is a man named Sultan Kozan. Oh, hey, he's 253 centimeters tall. That's 8 feet 3 inches. Oh. I also checked and found out that the shortest person in the world is a man named Chandra Bahadur Dangi. Oh, hey, he's 55 centimeters tall. That's 21.5 inches. Both of their parents were normal height, so that just goes to show that formula isn't always right. Yeah.
How can I make myself grow taller?
The Flat Earth Corner! Step right up and take one sip of this here elixir, and you'll be instantly a good 4 feet taller. It'll get rid of warts, too. Oh, and I also have this handy-dandy neck-stretching contraption in the back of my wagon. 1 second, I'll go grab it. Oh, oh, steady now. Oh, Once upon a time, people thought you could use elixirs or stretching machines to grow taller. Nowadays, we know better. In 1850, the average North American man stood about 5 feet 7 inches and weighed about 146 pounds. By the 1980s, the average North American man stood about 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed about 174 pounds. What was the big difference? Diet. In the 1850s, lots of people couldn't afford or couldn't get things like meat and fresh milk, which help your bones and muscles grow. But by the 1980s, it became a lot easier for most people to get good food. Healthy food costs less now than it did in 1850, and it's way easier to find. Exercise helps you build muscles too. And getting lots of sleep is important too, because when you're asleep, your body releases hormones that help you grow. Lucky for us, when we grow, our skin grows along with our body. Some animals don't have it so easy. Here's a question from Tefania.
How do snakes shed their skin?
To answer your question, Tefania, he knows about things that are scaly and wriggly, cold-blooded and wiggly. Here's Pat Benatar.
Hey, Harrison, check this skin out.
Whoever that belongs to needs to try a gentler exfoliant. Thanks for coming on my show, Pat.
It's my pleasure.
So, the snake's skin is here, but what happened to the rest of the snake?
Actually, I have it right down here. I'm just gonna pull it out and show you. This is a boa constrictor. And here she is.
Whoa, the skin is there, but the snake is there.
It grew out of its skin, basically. And snakes, when they grow out of their skin, they grow new skin underneath, and they slide out of the old skin.
Tefania, I found out from Pat that to shed its skin, a snake rubs its nose against hard things like rocks. So its skin starts to separate from its head. And then it just crawls out. So why does it do that?
Well, it's part of it is that it's outgrown the skin, and part of it is that it's actually worn the skin out.
This thing is heavy. Can you take it back now?
Sure, not a
Before
problem.
I fall over here.
It's a big one. She's over 40 pounds.
40 pounds, wow.
But also, if there's any parasites on the old skin, all those parasites come off with it.
Parasites are tiny bugs that suck a snake's blood. same as what fleas do on a dog or a cat.
I brought something really cool. It's actually a fire salamander. This is Salem.
That's a salamander.
That's a salamander, yeah.
Oh, I heard that they can grow back their legs and their tails if they lose them.
It's an amazing thing, yeah. If it gets its arm bitten off or a leg bitten off, it'll grow back the arm, digits, and everything.
That's awesome.
Would you like to hold them, Harrison?
Sure. Oh, it's like wet and slimy. Oh, it's so weird. Well, thanks, Pat, for being on my show, and Storm, and Sally, of course.
Well, thanks for having me, Harrison. It's been a pleasure.
Why do seniors get wrinkles?
To answer your question, Priscilla, I decided to go to a place that can make me grow up really fast. And here to turn me into a senior citizen is Stan Edmonds, head of makeup design for film and television here at Vancouver Film School. Hey.
Welcome, Harrison.
So why do people get wrinkles?
Well, there's a lot to talk about regarding that, and why don't you sit down? We got a few hours to go over it.
Sure. A few days ago, I went to the film school, and they put goop all over my head and hands, which hardened into a cast. Then they poured rubbery stuff inside the cast to make fake skin that fit my face and hands perfectly. Stan tells me that aging has a lot to do with gravity.
Well, as people age, sometimes you gain a little bit of weight as you get older, and so the weight of the sides of your face and your neck will start to droop, just with the force of gravity.
So if I lived my life upside down like a bat, then I wouldn't get wrinkles, right?
Can you imagine living upside down? You'd have a head full of dizziness.
As you grow older, your skin loses its elasticity and has less spring to snap back into place so wrinkles can form. Ultraviolet rays from the sun also give you wrinkles.
Kids don't get wrinkles for a while because they haven't been in the sun, they're young, their faces haven't moved and aged and weathered.
So what can I do to prevent getting wrinkles and deteriorating?
What you can do is drink lots of water. That's the #1 health and beauty secret.
Oh.
Use moisturizer and use sunscreen when you're in the sun.
And now, for the crowning touch, boys and girls, the senior version of me.
It's time for the big reveal. Oh, I'm bald and bald. I look kind of like my grandpa.
You look like my grandfather.
Really? I am your grandfather.
Why are butterflies first a caterpillar?
Well, Emma, that can best be answered with a song. Life cycle, metamorphosis. Sometimes something else before it's what it is. Transformation, alteration, wait and you will see what turns into a butterfly and what it used to be. An embryo, a larva, a pupa, imago. All stages of the same creature so different as they grow. Yeah. Life cycle, metamorphosis. Sometimes something else before it's what it is. Caterpillars aren't the only creatures that change their form, which leads us to my great challenge. So now I am rejoined by Christian.
Yeah.
And Amanda.
Hi.
Are you ready to take my great challenge?
Of course.
Okay, good stuff. Because on today's great challenge, you guys have to match the picture of the baby form of an animal to the adult animal. Whoever gets the most correct answers at the end of it will be the winner. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. So there's the baby animal. Is it A, a leopard, B, a cheetah, or C, a hyena? What do you think it is?
B.
B, a cheetah? That is correct. There we go. When it grows up, it's going to be fast. Grown-up cheetahs can accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.4 seconds. That's as fast as a sports car. There's the baby animal. Is it A, an eel, B, a salamander, or C, a frog? Okay, so Christian got it first.
I think it's A.
You think it's A? That's incorrect. What do you think?
C.
C is a frog. That's correct.
Yeah. I'm beating you.
Adult frogs can live on land, but the land must be near a pond, swamp, or another wet place. They lay their eggs in the water, and that's where they hatch. There's the baby animal. Is it A, a swan, B, a duck, or C, a goose?
I think it's B.
You think it's B? You would be incorrect. Amanda, do you have a?
C.
C is also incorrect, so it is actually A. It was a swan. Swans' necks grow to be very long. It helps them reach food underwater. And there we go. Is it A, a caterpillar, B, a ladybug, or C, a monarch butterfly?
I think it is B.
B, you're correct. There we go.
Yay!
Some say they resemble alligators, and they have an appetite like an alligator, too. Fortunately, ladybug larvae like to eat the bugs that eat the plants that we like to eat. So they're a big help to us. Here's our baby animal. Is it A, an emu, B, a kiwi, or C, a penguin?
C.
C, you're correct. There we go.
Penguin.
The emperor penguin grows the largest of any penguin species. They weigh up to 40 kilos. Okay, so here's the last one. There it is. Is it A, a chihuahua, B, a guinea pig, or C, a rabbit? Christian was first.
Let me see. C.
C, it is not a rabbit.
A.
A, yeah, it is a chihuahua. There we go. A chihuahua is the smallest dog in the world in both weight and height. So the points are 4 for Amanda and 1 for Christian. Amanda, you're the winner. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thumbs, yo, fist. Bro fist.
This growth and change journey has led me back to the original question.
What would happen if you never cut your fingernails? Would they keep on growing forever?
The big answer is... Well, Trayson, that's one thing that would happen if you never cut your fingernails. You couldn't play drums. Fingernails grow at an average of 3 millimeters a month, so it would take a really long time. But if you're patient, you can grow really long fingernails, like this. That's the longest anybody's ever grown their nails, about 89 centimeters. I can't imagine what they'd come in handy for, especially because real fingernails become curly when they get that long. But if you don't cut them, they'll keep growing and growing and growing and growing and... You get it. Anyway, before I go, Mr. Snugglesworth, didn't you say you had an itchy back? Mr. Snugglesworth, these are fake. You know I could take them off. Mr. Snugglesworth, I told you that you were for research, but that was a joke, you know, right? Anyway, it doesn't really matter because I don't need Mr. Snugglesworth anymore. See you next time for more Finding Stuff Out. Mr. Snugglesworth, where are you? Come back.